want to be your friend.
Peace and love. I said
You ain't never, and you ain't never, and you ain't never. I'm gonna tell you, I'm gonna call out some names. I'm gonna call out some names. I can almost guarantee you this is going to be one of the most controversial presentations. And now what I'm going to do, I want to set it up so once it's done, somebody would challenge me on the information. So with that being said, that means that I am going to lead you to the water. I'm going to bring facts, and I'm going to wait for somebody to dispute it so we can have a gentleman or a gentleman with a lady, whoever chooses to dispute it, we could have a conversation. One thing that we got to get past, family. First of all, let me say this. Let me start off like this, because I'm gonna wait till the numbers build up. You know, I'm gonna wait for the thumbs up goes up, because I want everybody to get this one. I don't think nobody did this before. And when I'm saying did this before, y'all may look at the ad as if I'm trying to provoke something or something like this. Y'all ain't never seen this before. I'm gonna tell you, y'all ain't seen this before. But I'm gonna say like this. I'm gonna say like this. Let me get my brother Ish on deck. Let me say like this. I'm gonna say like this. The information that I'm going to give tonight is going to ruffle some feathers. It's not only is it going to ruffle Moorish national feathers or the Taj Tariq-ite feathers, it might ruffle just some ordinary person that subscribe to Moorish America, being Moorish American. Excuse me. The point of the matter is that it's time to basically draw the line in the sand so the public can have a clear conception what it is to be a Moorish American. That's just what the time. That's where we at now. That's just where we at now. You know, I want to just say this, John Day. I want to set this up right. First of all, I want everybody to know that this is not an attack, nor has it ever been an attack on the elder Taj Tariq Bey. But what it has been a campaign to counter the misinformation that has been taught by Taj Tariq Bey. I don't think anybody can find a video where I slandered or cursed this brother out, and slander means to lie on. If you think that I lied on him, I will invite anybody to challenge the information. Like a gentleman, like a brother, like a king. Challenge the information respectfully. This is not an attack. I use the Taj Tariq-ites because that's what it is. As Prophet Noble Drew Ali used the term Mohammedans. People are following Taj and they missing the mark on the Prophet. It is what it is. And so I've decided that I would like this for me to be my last presentation, unless somebody want to challenge the information and have a friendly, brotherly, sisterly, whatever debate. And we can do that. I have no problem with that. As long as it's respectful, we're not calling anybody names, we're not cursing each other out. I'm all for it. I'm all for it. You know what I'm saying? Because I believe that we need to get to the bottom of it. We need to stop allowing people to believe that the Moorish Science Temple of America is predicated upon aggravating or testing these Europeans and keep on starting drama with the right to travel and the delegation of authority. The Moorish Science Temple of America is not about that. The Moorish Science Temple of America is predicated upon building. That's what the Moorish Science Temple of America is predicated upon. Building. If it was caught up into the things that we see today, there is no way humanly possible that Prophet Noble Drew Ali would have made the strides that he had made back from 1926 to 29. There's no way humanly possible. If the Moors in the days and times of Prophet Noble Drew Ali perpetrated some of the things or demonstrated some of the things that we see Moors doing today, you would never even heard of no Moorish Science. The first year, it would have been a wrap. You cannot find nowhere in that racist era of time, in that racist era of time, you did not see Moors doing the things that we see these brothers calling themselves Moors today. And so today it's time to separate the truth from the falsehood. People, don't get upset because somebody put some information out on the internet and now I come to address the information, and then you call that's divisive. Yo, why y'all divided? No. We don't let the lie linger. Why would we let the lie linger? That's just like if in your household you have a child that begin to talk crazy all the time. They're not really hitting nobody, but they're just talking crazy. And you say, well, nah, I don't want to start nothing. So, I'm going to just leave that alone. That's insane. You're not going to do that. You know what you're going to do? You're going to say, come here. We ain't doing this right here. Well, in this sense right here, this is the house of Prophet Noble Drew Ali, that anybody who refers to themselves as being a Moorish American or the Moorish Science Temple of America, within this paradigm of the Moorish Science Temple of America, it's our obligation to say, you know what? That's not right. You know what? They may have been talking it for 20 years, but that's not right. And not only is it not right, here is the evidence to show and prove it's not right. That's not what the prophet taught. My whole campaign, and yes, it's a campaign, my whole campaign is very simple. That Taj Tariq do not teach the teachings as taught by Prophet Noble Drew Ali. That's my whole campaign. I've never said nothing dirty about Taj. I never said that nothing slanderous about Taj. If you think that is slanderous, bring your proof. I'll bring mine, and we can have a gentleman conversation. We're going to shake you, my brother, at the end of the day. You know what I'm saying? So I don't mind. But anyway, let's get this started. I've been disrespected. I've been called an agent. I've been called a dirty Moor. You have never heard me come out my mouth one time calling somebody a dirty Moor. Never. And you never will. Now, and I may even say, man, that's agent behavior, because some stuff is suspect. When I see that people putting confusion out there, some stuff is suspect. You know what I mean? So, here we go. First and foremost, I rise giving praise to Allah, give honor to his noble, illustrious prophet, Prophet Noble Drew Ali. I give honor to you in this chat, who have courage enough for truth. Because obviously, you may think that I brought you here for drama, but guess what? Deep down inside, curiosity make you want to come here and see what I got to say, and I honor you for that. I honor Brother Marcus Mosiah Garvey. Many people shout the red, the black, and the green, but little do they know, Marcus Garvey was building on the ground. He wasn't shouting the red, the black, the green. He wasn't shouting the European this, the European that. He was shouting, come together. Let's build something. Let's create our world. Let's unite. Let's move forward. Let's be the noble people that we once was. It is what it is. So here we go. John Day have something up there that says the Moorish American nationals don't have a right to travel. U.S. citizens don't have a right to travel, only nationals. Okay, whatever the case may be, brother, but I'm going to prove something today concerning U.S. citizens and nationals. I'm going to prove something today. Let me go ahead and set it up. I'm not going to waste any more time. So if y'all ready, I'm ready. I ask that everybody thumbs up. I ask that everybody share this because I want brothers that follow Taj Tariq, R.V. Bey, Canaanland Moors, and whomever, any splinter group, I want them to see this, and I want them to challenge me on the information. Not to call, they can call me Dirty Moors, I get it, no problem. They can call me agent, I get it, no problem. But I would prefer them to challenge me on the information. That's what I'm looking forward to. You know what I mean? That's what I'm looking forward to. I want somebody to challenge me on the information because what I'm about to display right now, and it's gonna start off slow, right? But it's gonna pick up real fast. So First of all, family, when I say it's going to start off slow, I mean just that. But it's going to pick up real fast. Make no mistake about it. So hopefully those who are interested in learning something concerning the teachers of the Prophet Noble Drew Ali will come in and take a look. So first and foremost, family, here we go. This is all about the teachers of the Prophet Noble Drew Ali. This is not about me. This is not even about Taj. It's about the misunderstanding that has been perpetuated and taught throughout the years. Now, we know without a doubt or contradiction that they call Taj the National Grand Sheikh and Divine Minister. I don't know what, and this is not slander. Don't call it slander, it's fact. I don't know what divine minister that he's a part of. I don't know. I don't have a clue. I don't know who made him a divine sheik. I don't know who made him a grand sheik or divine minister or grand sheik. I'm not sure. I don't know. But from my thing is, and John Day, stick around. I got you, brother. My thing is, who made him a grand sheik? Who made him a sheik? Who made him an adapt? Who made him a divine minister? One of the first things that I say to everybody, like I said, it's going to start slow, so work with me. One of the things that I say to everybody is that when you meet a Moorish American, the first thing you want to find out, when you meet a Moorish American, the first thing you want to find out is who is their elder. That's the first thing. John Day, I'm going to have to block you if you keep interrupting. You can watch from the outside, brother. I'm trying to set it up so we can get to the facts. Anyway, you can exit stage left. It's coming, brother. I'm waiting for the people to come in so the people can get the information. If you want to antagonize, I'm going to go ahead and block you and get you out here. I appreciate your comments, but your comments are going nowhere. Stop distracting me. Let's keep it moving. Anyway, so the point of the matter is, when you meet a Moorish American and they teaching you Moorish science, the first thing you want to ask, well, if they say they're a grand sheik, who made you a grand sheik? And you can even go a step further and ask them, can I see your credentials? Your credentials is what was given in the Moorish Science Temple of America, and it's given to the Moors to this day. They're called sheik papers or divine minister papers. So one of the first questions you want to ask any Moorish American that claim to be a sheik, you ask them, who made you a sheik? First and foremost. Secondly, you say, well, can I see your divine minister papers or your sheik papers? Now, you know off the top, if you don't see a divine minister papers or sheik papers, there might be something going on right there. But if you choose to follow them, be on your own. I'm trying to set it up for you. Walk with me. So now, if the person is not going to produce their credentials, then most of the time, they may not be qualified to speak on the topic. However, that's not right all the time, because you got many sharp Moorish Americans that are not divine ministers and they are not sheiks. But most of those sharp brothers are so sharp that they don't call themselves by these titles that they haven't been blessed with. That's the difference. But when somebody calling themselves a title that they haven't been blessed with, I'm telling you, beware, watch out for the okie doke. And we have been falling for the okie doke for quite some time as it relates to the teachings of Taj Tariq and the Moors who follow him. So Taj has went on and he became the consular. But let's move on. So let's get with the first lesson. The first lesson is the confusion that this brother likes to use. He likes to use similarities. You know what I mean? He likes to be similar. So what I'm saying is he will say something and he'll relate it to the Prophet Noble Drew Ali, but what you'll find is it's not relative. So let's deal with the first thing on RV Bey. If you go to RV Bey Publications, you'll see that I got it highlighted. But let me just go on down to, I'm going to get almost to where it says reading the first 7 questions. It says reading the first 7 questions of the 101 questionnaire gives you the support the fact of historical foundation. And that's talking about the Ellen Bay, I would assume. After all, without history, you cannot comprehend law. Now, listen. A simple affixing of the titles L or Bay on your existing name place you under the jurisdiction and protection of the Moorish nation, America, north, south, central, and adjoining islands. The first thing you want to ask, hold up, stop for a minute. When you speak of jurisdiction, you're speaking of an established government. You're speaking of an established jurisprudence. You're speaking of something that established, which has borders, which has laws, which have elected or appointed officials. So when he say you're under the jurisdiction and protection of the Moorish nation, what is he saying? He's not saying much. But when you go down, let's go down and read a little more though. Check this out. This is why it is disturbing, he says, futile and non-productive, unless you are against the Moors, unless you are agent. Everybody want to throw the agent when they scared of truth. Unless you are agent against Moors rising. For any Moor to think that this land estate is the dominion of foreign occupiers, no, nobody thinks that. You throwing that out there. And they act as if it's all well. Yet, now here go the okie doke. Yet, the prophet said we will gain back our heritage and our lost estate, and it will be done in a conflict that cannot be told in words. I got it highlighted. Now listen to me. What he's talking about are two different things. He's mixing apples and oranges. He said, this land is our lost estate. And the prophet said, listen closely, and the prophet said, we will gain our heritage, our lost estate, in a conflict that cannot be told in words. Now, in actuality, it's out of context. In actuality, underneath that, I got where he got that from. That came from page 3 out of the Holy Quran of the Moorish Science Temple of America. Now let's read and see what that says. What exactly is that talking about? It says, and these soul attributes became a body beautiful, a multitude of lessons man must learn upon the plane of soul. And he tarries many ages until his lesson of all learned. Upon the boundary of the plane of soul, the ether began to vibrate slower still, and the essence took on a final garb. What this is explaining is the descension of man from a heavenly state or from a divine state to a physical existence. It keeps saying, perfected man must pass through all ways of life. And so carnal nature was full manifest, a nature that sprung forth from fleshly things. Without a foe, a soldier never knows his strength. And thought must be developed by the exercise of strength. And so this carnal man soon became a foe that man must fight, that he might be the strength of a law made manifest. I hope y'all are listening. Check it out. Let every living thing stand still and hear. Man is the Lord of the plane of manifest, of protoplasm, a mineral, a plant, a beast. But he gave up his birthright. In this context, the birthright is talking about your divine nature. He gave up his birthright just to gratify his lower self. The birthright in this context is talking about his divine nature. It says, but man will regain his lost estate, his heritage, his divine nature, but it will be done in a conflict that can't be told in words. That whole paragraph had nothing to do with European occupying a foreign land or foreigners occupying any land. Yet he used it in context of that. He said, so the Prophet Noble Ali says, yea, he must suffer trials and temptation manyfold. But let him know that the cherubim and the seraphim that rule the station of the sun, and I can go on and on. But that's what I'm doing right now. What I'm trying to do right now is put the lessons side by side. How he has taken something that had nothing to do with what he said. This is why it's disturbing and non-productive. For any more to think that this land estate is the dominion of foreign occupiers. No, we don't think this is the estate or land of any foreign occupiers. But why are you taking something out of context to relate to something that has nothing to do with the statement that the prophet made? You see, why? He took it out of context to try to convince you of something and possibly later sell you something. Let's go. Next one. So here we go. The Prophet Noble Drew Ali talks about this is an RB-based demonstration too. So they goes on to talk about identity, evidence, sameness, the fact. They give you the the concept or the definition of identity, person, Corporations are persons, as the word used in the 14th Amendment. Therefore, if you are operating with the 14th Amendment, you're saying louder, you are a corporation. Family, here goes another okie doke. If you are a member of the Moorish Science Temple of America, we don't even acknowledge the 14th Amendment as it relates to us as a people to free us. So for someone that said they are more, keep on giving the 14th and 15th Amendment power, it doesn't even make sense. Why you keep talking about the 14th and 15th Amendment if the Prophet Noble Drew Ali tells us that, and I got it highlighted, that there is no need for the application of the 14th and 15th Amendment for the salvation of our people. We totally disregard. We act as if it don't even exist. Because the Prophet Noble Drew Ali says, and I concur, that there is no need for the 14th and 15th Amendment. He got that at the bottom of the page, yet he still quoted as if somebody is acting in the capacity of the 14th Amendment. We act like it don't even exist. Why you keep acting as if somebody is living in the capacity? If you are more, proclaim you're not even acting in the capacity of the 14th or 15th Amendment. Period, point blank. Now let me show you. When you look at this, it says the 14th and 15th Amendments brought the North and the South in unit, placing the Southerner, who at that time was without power, with the constitutional body. All right. It goes on further to say, and at that time, 1865, the free national constitutional law, most of them, I don't believe they know what that means. And at that time, 1865, the free national constitutional law, the prophet never said the Constitution. He said the free national constitutional law. You see, he never said the Constitution. So I'm going to leave it open for anybody want to challenge me. He said the free national constitutional law that was in force since 1774. No, he didn't say 1776. 1774 declared all men equal and free. And if all men are declared free, declared by the free national constitution to be free and equal, since the Constitution never been changed, there's no need. The Prophet Noble Drew Ali is basically saying you are already free and there is no document that can free you. You already been declared free. Here goes another misappropriation of the information. Number two. Look at number two. I'm just showing you how misleading this is, and as I build it up, I'm going to get deeper and deeper. It's going to get deeper and deeper. It says you do not have to show identification, and you cannot lawfully be detained or arrested for failure to show. Cannot allow your identification to be confiscated. It is your property. On the same page of R.V. Bey, it says the more IDs you have, the better. In addition to the national ID, now they want to sell IDs, we offer travel card and student card. In fact, in law, I'm not making this up. In fact, in law, if you do not have the preferred ID of the asker, you can present two of another ID, which is sufficient. Now, the trick here is 1 minute they say you cannot lawfully be detained without showing not showing your ID. And then they come right back and say on the same page, in fact, in law, if you do have, so now they're saying it's lawful. Now they're saying it's lawful, but then it's unlawful. And then at the bottom one, they said, do not allow the policy enforcer highwaymen to take your identification, as is your property. And then they'll quote the Amendment 5 that was not even relative to identification. So I'm going to say you again. The first line, he says you do not have to show your identification and you cannot lawfully be detained. Okay, but then it comes back and says it's better to have 3 IDs. Mind you, they sell IDs. I mean, mind you, they sell IDs. So now it's better to have 3. In fact, in law, if you do not have the preferred ID of the asker, you can present second ID, which is a presumption that you better have law. You better have ID when dealing with the law. Here we go. Another out of context thing. This is all the setup. This is all the setup. Another out of context thing. I got it highlighted, but it said, this means we the people must be busy about holding anyone to law. We must uphold and enforce it ourselves so that we are not molested by any other citizens. This is why Prophet Noble Drew Ali said, now they're going to take the Prophet Noble Drew Ali words out of context again, and they're going to misquote it and lie. There is but one supreme issue, and that is to enforce the Constitution for the United States of America. That is not what the Prophet Noble Drew Ali said. That is not what the Prophet Noble Drew Ali said. Right beneath that it says, so there is one supreme issue for my people to be used to redeem that which was lost, and that is through the above statements. Now, what are the above statements? Do anybody know? Let's talk about the above statements. This is the above statements. I want y'all to listen. This is the above statements. Y'all got me? There is but one supreme issue for my people to be redeemed, and to that which is lost, and through the above statement. But he said, but there is one supreme issue, and that is to enforce the Constitution. And then he got it in quote unquote. That is not what the Prophet Noble Drew Ali said. Not even close. The only thing he got close is there is but one supreme issue. And then he add on and say, and that is to enforce the Constitution for, and then he put in caps, the United States of America. The prophet words, quote unquote. So there, and then the sad thing about it is this is readily information. You can find this information anywhere. You know, nobody wants to do the research. They want to be blind followers. And so he's going to lead the sheep to slaughter. So this is the above statement. Now, here we go, family. If you want to learn, you can learn. If you don't, it's okay, bounce. But if you want to learn, learn. I prefer that you learn. So the Prophet Noble Drew Ali above statements is as following. The citizens of all free national governments, according to their national constitution, that is, in this sense, the Constitution of the United States, are all of one family bearing one free national name. Those who recognize the free national name of the constitutional government are classed as undesirable and are subject to all inferior names and mistreatments that the citizens care to bestow upon them. Now, the question becoming, I went over this again, the citizens of all free national government, according to their free national constitution, all of one family bearing one free national name. The question becomes, what is that one free national name? Let me blow it up because many people get mixed up because they've never been taught this before, but I'm going to teach you tonight. It says one free national name. It says one family bearing one free national name, and I'm going to blow it up. And it says their free national, according to their free national constitution. So let me blow it up for you so you can get it right. So, first of all, the question is, what is that free national constitution? We already know what it is. It's the Constitution of the United States of all one family, meaning that all those who come under the jurisdiction of the free national Constitution of the United States, I mean, all those people come under the jurisdiction of the Constitution of the United States are of one family bearing one free national name. And what is that one name? A free national name, as I said before, is not Ali Baba El Bey. It's not Tariq Floss out El Ali Bey. That's not the one free national name. It's not individualistic. It's one free national name relating to the free national constitution and one family. Family, whether you like it or not. You don't have to like it. Whether you like it or not, that one free national name is American. You cannot get away from it. And I'm going to show you, and we're going to prove it as we go along. Check it out. Those who fail to recognize the free national name of their constitutional government. It's not saying the free national name of your forefathers. It's not saying the free national name of your ancestors of their constitutional government. The constitutional government is the free national government of the United States, which is called the Constitution. Those who fail to recognize their free national name of their constitutional government are classed as undesirables and subject to all inferior names: Negro, Black, Colored, Black people, African American, Afro American, and all the abuses. Police brutality, and all of that happens because you don't unite. It's not because you call yourself something different. It's because you don't unite, because you don't identify with calling yourself something. You know what I'm saying? That is consistent with the ancient ancestors. So it's and mistreatments that other citizens can to bestow upon them. And it is a sin for any group to violate the national constitution of constitutional laws. What constitution is he talking about? The national constitution of that time, even now, has not changed. It's the Constitution of the United States, the national constitution of the free national government. The free national government. Now, let me clarify, family. The free national government relates to the borders of the 50 states of the United States. That is national. Okay, he said, I, the prophet, was prepared by the great God of law to warn my people from their sinful ways and return back to the state of mind of their forefathers' national principles, that they will be law abiders and receive their divine rights as citizens. So these people say we're not citizens, but I'm going to show you as this go along that they are way out of touch. Because the prophet is talking about you receive your divine right as citizens according to the free national constitutional that was prepared for all free national beings. National beings is relating to those within the borders of the United States of America. They are to claim their own free national name and religion. They are to claim their own free national name and religion. It goes on to say, there is but one issue for them to be recognized by this government and the nation of the earth, and it comes through your connection of the Moorish divine and national movement, which is incorporated in this government. If you're saying that you are Moorish American, whether you are or you're not is not in question at this point. If you're saying that you are Moorish American, the Moorish Science Temple of America, led by Prophet Noble Drew Ali, incorporated the movement into the government. Now, if you need me to pull out and say somebody made this up, I can actually pull out the actual guide. John Day, don't think too fast because I'm going to prove that wrong too. I am not an American. I'm an American citizen, not a U.S. citizen. That's you. But Moorish Americans, pay attention. John Day says he's an American citizen, not a U.S. citizen. You know what I mean? Now, okay. Now, check this out. I'm with you, Third Eye Wisdom. Check this out. We're going to work, bro. We're going to work. So, and now listen. Those who say that they are Moorish Americans and they want to create new governments or they want to create new stuff, that means they don't understand and they miss the mark. Because the prophet said the Moors divine and national movement, which is incorporated in this government and recognized by all nations of the earth. And through it, they and their children can receive their divine rights unmolested by other citizens, that they can cast a free national ballot. Do y'all know what that means? A free national ballot. What is the national ballot, family? Bing, bing, bing. That is the presidential election. That is the presidential election. Aboriginal TV, hold on, brother. That is the presidential election. Why would Prophet Noble Drew Ali be trying to convince people to cast a free national ballot. Why wouldn't he be just starting the United States of America Republic with Cannon Bay or like Cannon Bay? He is telling Moors to vote. Now, at the polls under the free national constitution of the state's government. Understand what he's saying. Understand what he's saying, and not under a granted privilege. So, one, Prophet Noble Drew Ali have it incorporated within this government. Two, he asking you to cast a free national ballot, and I can expound on that. That's another topic, why he did that, but I can expound on it later. It goes on again. It says, you who doubt whether I, the prophet, and my principles are right for my people, go to those that know the law in City Hall and among the officials in your government and ask them under an intelligent tone, and they will gladly render you a favorable reply. For they are glad to see me bring you out of the darkness into the light. He goes on to say, money doesn't make the man. It's free national standards. It's free national standards. Okay? What is your national standard today? And power that makes the man and a nation. The wealth of all national governments. This is what people need to pay attention to. The wealth of all free national governments, gold and silver and commerce belongs to the citizen alone. This is why the prophet trying to get you to understand the ins and out of your citizenship. Because the gold and silver and commerce is for the citizens alone. And without your national citizenship, by name and principle, you have no true wealth. Meaning that all the things that your ancestors worked for, all the beat on the back, all the hanging from the tree, all the wealth that they have contribute to this country, you are giving it up by not acknowledging your citizenship. Because once you acknowledge your citizenship, you have access to it. But you just need to know the road to get to it. And the prophet give you the road too. But that's another topic. That's another topic. So it goes on to say, I am hereby calling on all true citizens. And when the prophet Noble Drew Ali says all, hey, brother, John Day, stand by, brother. You're moving too fast. I'm just getting started. And I'm hereby calling on all true citizens that stand for a national free government and to enforce the Constitution to help me in my great missionary work, because I need all the support from all true American citizens of the United States of America, which I'm going to touch on shortly, that United States and American citizen is pretty much interchangeable in context of the Prophet Noble Drew Ali, and I'm going to prove that too. That American citizen and the United States of America, or U.S. citizen, in the context as expressed by Noble Drew Ali, is interchangeable in some contexts, and I'm going to prove it. Anyway, help me save my people who have fallen from the constitutional laws of government. I'm depending on your support to get them back to the constitutional fold again, that they may learn to love instead of hate, and live according to love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice, supporting our free national constitution of the United States. Now, I don't know how you're going to bake this pie. I don't know how you're going to flip this pie. I don't know, but he's calling it our free national constitution of the United States. Now, I don't know what the brother, I don't know what the brother Cannon Bey have to say about this, about his constitution, but the prophet refers to the Constitution of the United States as our constitution. That's a little deeper lesson, but that's okay. Okay. I hear you, John Day. I know Taj got you good, but I got you. Hold on. He said, I love my people, and I desire their unity and mind back to their own national and divine standard, because day by day they have been violating the national and constitutional laws of the government by claiming principles that are unconstitutional. Now check this out. If Italians, Greeks, English, Chinese, Japanese, Turks, and Arabians are forced to proclaim their free national name. In other words, if a Turk come here and says that he wants to be a citizen of the United States, then he is compelled to say, you know what? I want to take the citizen test. I am Turkish American. That's the free national name. If the Arabians are born here and they choose to be a part of the fabric of the United States of America, they must proclaim the free national name, which is American. So you got Grecian American, English American, Chinese American, Japanese American, Turkish American, Arabian American, and are forced to proclaim that free national name and religion before the constitutional government of the United States. It is no more than right that the law be enforced upon all other American citizens alike. Now, follow what I'm saying. This is where the Prophet Noble Drew Ali talks about enforcing the Constitution. The Prophet Noble Drew Ali talking about to get us back into the fold of the Constitution so we can participate and take our place in the affairs of men. Because outside of the Constitution, you don't have no fight. You don't have no fight. You know what I mean? Politicize yourself. Organize yourself. Attack locally. And when I say attack, I mean become active. So the Prophet Noble Drew Ali says it's no more than right that the law be enforced. And so this is where they steal and say enforce the Constitution. The Prophet wasn't talking about that stuff they talking about. They're talking about that outside the Constitution, we have no win. So once you enforce the Constitution, you forcing the people to be lined up like every other people in this country. You're saying if the Greeks doing it, if the English doing it, if the Chinese doing it, if the Japanese doing it, it's no more than right that we have to do it. Why not we doing it? The Greeks ain't calling themselves yellow people. The English ain't calling themselves white. The Chinese ain't calling themselves yellow. The Turks ain't calling themselves brown. It's no more than right. It's no more than right. In all other governments, when a man is born, raised there, and asks for his national descent name, listen to the key points he said. Born and raised. This is why right before that, the Prophet Noble Drew Ali says the law should be enforced on all American citizens alike. You are an American citizen, but I'm going to show you how the American citizen and U.S. citizen in some contexts become interchangeable as we go along. In all other government, when a man is born, you are born a citizen. You are born a citizen by the soil and raised there and asked for his national descent name and asked for his national descent name. Now that is different. The national descent name is different from the free national name. The national descent name of the people formerly mentioned is Italian. That's a national descent name. The national descent name of a Greek is Grecian. I think that's what they call it now. The English, this is a national descent name. Descent is where means from where you come from. The free national name is where you're at. Chinese is a national descent name. Y'all follow me? So the prophet said, in all other governments, when a man is born and raised there and asks for his national descent name, if he fails to give it, he is misused, imprisoned, or exiled. Any other group of people that fail to answer up to the constitutional standards, y'all hear me? Constitutional standards of law by name and principle, because to be a citizen of any government, he's talking about the government of the United States. To be a citizen of any government, you must proclaim your national descent name. That's different from your free national name, because they place their trust upon issues and names formed by their forefathers. This is how you know the national descent name is Moorish, because once you proclaim your national descent name, you identify yourself with an illustrious history, and people identify who you are. Black, there is no illustrious history. There is none. There is none. It just don't work. You know what I mean? It just don't work. So we go on to say, I want to share this, and this is just a tidbit. Another misappropriation of the facts, which I shared this on my last stream, where it says that this brother say, if you do not, the prophet said, if you do nothing else, declare your nationality. Family, I have never seen that, and I believe that it's a mock-up from the I think it's a mock-up from the oral statements, if you will. The prophet is known to say, proclaim your nationality. But as I said in a previous broadcast, that the reason why they're using the term declare, listen to the trickery. Here's the trickery. He said, the prophet says, if you do nothing else, declare your nationality, which means clear yourself, as it does not necessarily has anything to do with any paperwork. So he says that declare has nothing to do with paperwork. While proclaiming, listen to Act 6 right here. With us, all members must proclaim their nationality. That's the first line of Act 6. While proclaiming has all to do with paperwork. So what they did is the switch and bait. The switch and bait is the prophet said, if you don't do nothing, declare your nationality. Yet you must proclaim, and that has to do with paperwork. And then it goes on to say, which means declare yourself, it does not necessarily have anything to do with paperwork. That's to declare. While proclaiming has all to do with paperwork. Something written. Are the temple members really proclaiming? So this is the switch and bait. This is how the brother goes at the temple underhandedly and put the spirit of division amongst people when he began to say, are the temples really proclaiming? Well, the question is this. Show me anywhere out of 30,000 Moors where the Moors filed any paperwork anywhere during the times of the prophet, except for the affidavit and the permit for the affidavit and the permit for the parade. It seems those within the temple may have declared, but have confused proclaiming and declaring. The prophet never said declare. He never said that. That's hearsay. It don't hold no weight. The prophet never said that. In reality of these things seems that most in and out the temple are also not really clear. They are without self-clarity, lacking proper concept of historical references, lacking proper schooling to the perspective of those bits of history they do receive, yet being clear and declaring is absolutely necessary before any rituals of proclamation of publishing of art be done. I suppose that this is why the prophet said, if nothing else, declare your nationality. That's a flat out lie, and anybody can challenge me on it. Flat out lie, hearsay. Every time you study the prophet never used that term, declare your nationality. He said, with us, all members must proclaim their nationality. And we're teaching our people proclaim. And so they say, now, proclaiming has to do with paperwork, and they use that so they can prepare to sell you some paperwork. They're preparing to sell you some paperwork. Now, here we go. The prophet Noble Ali comes in and says, it is the great God Allah alone that guides the destiny of this divine and national movement. I know all true American citizens identified by the national descent name and applied to the free national constitution this free national republic of the United States. Y'all with me? Here we go. Now, a lot of this stuff that these brothers are using, that the brother Taj is using, comes out of this Moorish literature book. But now this Moorish literature book, if you ask any of them where it come from, who put it together, 9 times out of 10, they don't know. And actually, they hijacked it and stole it from the Moorish Science Temple of America Incorporated. This Moorish literature was a compilation that was initiated, if I'm not mistaken, and I could be wrong, but if I am, may Allah forgive me, I think it was Brother Love L. Now, these are the same people that they say misinformed, hijacked, 501c3. These are the same people, yet they selling their information that they have compiled. And, we all use it. But, you using it, but at the same time, slandering at the same time. You know what I mean? Well, or whatever you say. Anyway, let's get to it. So now the question becomes now, family. One of the questions that we need to ask, what you're looking at right here is the original affidavit filed by the prophet. Let me look at the people real quick before I get into this next segment real quick, because we making good way. We making good way. Let me check out the people real quick. Family, if you like this presentation, I'm asking to thumbs up for me. I'm asking to really take a deep consideration of what we're talking about. Go back over it, look at it, weigh it out. I know John Day got a lot of questions. He putting a lot of stuff out there. I understand. I would love to debate John Day. I would love him to come up here with his information, because I'm gonna put up some controversial stuff that's going to be pretty much so somebody can appear to come at me, and then we can set it up and we can get it done. I'm not going to give you all of it. I'm going to lead you to it. And I would encourage anybody to challenge me on the information. Challenge me on the information. I'm really not going to accept it if you're talking the dirty Moors and the MFers and all of this stuff. I'm going to pay you no mind. I'm going to block you. I'm going to keep moving. This is about the information and awakening our people up to what's really good. We're not following that nonsense no more. It's a wrap. It's over. Not until your brother Tariq Bey challenged this information on the network and on social media did we have this information available. So, hey, you don't have to like me. You don't have to like me. That's fine. But guess what? I implore you to take this information back and research it. I'm going to leave it up here. It's good. But let's get into it, man. I appreciate y'all, man. Let's get into it. We got a bunch of more slides coming, and it's going to get hot and heavy because I'm going to get controversial in 1 minute. In 1 minute, I'm going to get super controversial. So, hold up. Let me stop it one more time because I'm about to get into my lane. Now, I'm about to get into my lane. Y'all ready? All right. I'm about to get into my lane. So the first thing that we need to do is clarify. Let me get into my lane real quick. Now I got some of my slides mixed up. Now the first thing we need to clarify is this. What is, let me leave it like that for a minute. I might get back to that. All right. Now, I want to ask my brother, John Day, and I'm going to wait for him to respond too. All right. Nah, Ali even said we all Moors by birthright. I'm going to get to that too. I want to ask John Day. John Day, are you a proclaimed Moorish American? I need to know. I need to know. Edward Smooth, watch this. I'm going to break this up right now, Edward Smooth. I'm going to break this all up. John Day, are you? Okay. Thank you, brother. Thank you. Edward Smooth, I'm going to break this all up in a minute. So let's go into this next segment real quick. So the question becomes, are you going to deny the prophet? Are you going to deny the prophet? Are you going to deny the prophet? That's the question. Huh? Are you going to deny the prophet? So the question becomes, U.S. citizen, American citizen. Don't make excuses for yourself. I messed this up. Don't worry about that. So the question becomes, U.S. citizen, American citizen. So family, what you're looking at right here is the certificate for the Secretary of State when the Prophet Noble Drew Ali in November 1929, if I'm not mistaken, 29th, he filed this paperwork in Chicago. And I'm going to kill this twofold. I think this was 1926, if I'm not mistaken. But I'm going to kill this in twofold. Two things I'm going to do real quick. Make sure I got it set up right. Let me get this right. I'm going to kill this in twofold. Two things I'm going to kill right now. I'm going to kill the premise that I'm going to knock it out the park. Two things. American citizen, U.S. citizen, and Moorish American. Who is the Moorish American? I'm going to knock it out the park. So I want to set it up right. I want to make it up. Appreciate my brother, Sister Grand Sheik. So this is the original document from 1926. Now, again, you can deny and fight the prophet if you choose to. Now, this document here is the document that the prophet filed. This is the front, and this is the back. This is the document that the prophet filed to incorporate the Moorish Temple of Science. And when he filed this document to incorporate the Moorish Temple of Science, one thing that he had to do, he had to fill it out. That's pretty obvious. So the question now becomes, and this is the document that I'm going to use to make my point. So my brother came Pharaoh Bey, and I told him I would use this. He said, y'all need the guidance. We are not U.S. citizens, period. My nationality, a fact for the record. Yours ain't. Be honest and link instead of foolishly dismissing your prophet state. Okay? Then I got another brother that just put this up. United States of America, it's a corporation. America is the land. Okay. First of all, let's deal with the first thing. This is at the bottom of that document I just showed you, November 29, 1926. Now, the Prophet Noble Drew Ali fills this document out. And let's read what it says. Would the prophet lie? Prophets don't lie. And if you say that, you tripping now. Did the prophet not see it? If you say that, you tripping now. So in this document, you'll see that when he filled out this document to the Secretary of State, it said, we understand Drew Ali, Lomax, James Lomax, Johnny Reynolds, Eddie Watts, Sammy Rucker, citizens of what? Can y'all see that? The citizens of what? Propose to form a corporation. Can y'all see that? No. It says citizens of the United States. It's saying that Drew Ali, James Lomax, Johnny Reynolds, Eddie Watts, Sammy Rucker, citizens of the United States, proposed to form a corporation. Citizens of the United States proposed. It's saying, do we know how to read? Can we read? And I'm not being facetious. The Prophet Noble Drew Ali, Lomax Bey, Johnny Reynolds, Eddie Watts, Sammy Rucker, citizens of the United States. Now, you can try to twist it and turn it. The best thing to do is try to understand the mission of the prophet instead of trying to twist it and turn it. We can't twist it and turn it. Try to understand why the prophet did what he did. He had to do that to protect. He was a prophet with foresight. Come on. Stop it. Stop it. Family, try to understand. Don't trick your mind to believe the inobvious. Just empty your cup and try to understand that the United States and America, as it relates to citizens, in some senses, are interchangeable. And I'm going to show you how. I'm going to show you how. I'm going to show you how the United States and America is interchangeable in some senses. Okay, now, here we go. Now, you can deny the truth. It's okay. It's okay. You can deny the truth. Now, if you want to know about the United States being a corporation, family, if you want to understand about the United States being a corporation, the District of Columbia Organic Act of 1871 explained what part of the United States is the corporation. Now, everybody say, oh, the corporation is located in D.C. The corporation is located in D.C. Washington, D.C. is a corporation. Family, if you read closely, you'll understand that Washington, D.C., the District of Columbia, is the U.S. corporate. The 50 states are not. The United States of America, the 50 states are not. The District of Columbia is the corporation. It's a district. So when people say the United States is a corporation, no, you mixing apples and oranges. And I would challenge anybody on this, and we will go deep. And we will go deeper into it. But this is a complex issue. Let me tell you something. We can deny the truth all we want. But I'm telling you again, anybody that wish to debate this, I'm open to debate it. And I'm open to bring, I'm gonna bring slideshows. I'm gonna bring slideshows. I'm gonna bring everything possible to prove my point. Because not only is the District of Columbia is a part of the U.S. corporation, but there's other parts too that's a part of the U.S. corporation. And it's not the 50 states. And it's not the 50 states. Now, and it's not the 50 states. And I would challenge anybody to challenge me on it. I'm going to bring facts. Anybody can. Ishmael Bey know what I'm talking about. Ishmael Bey know what I'm talking about. Taj has lied. He has lied. The 50 states are not the corporation. Now, here we go. So, all you have to do is read the Organic Act of 1871, and I'll read it to you. Be it enacted by the Senate and the House of Representatives of the United States of America, and Congress assembled, that all part of the territory of the United States included within the limits of the District of the Columbia be, and the same is hereby created into government by the name of District of Columbia, by which name is hereby constituted a body corporate. Now you got to read the whole thing to really get the true essence, the true understanding of what it is, what that means. You can't read part. I mean, you can't read part. You got to read the whole thing. It says that the District of Columbia, by which name is hereby constituted a body corporate. The District of Columbia is the body corporate. United States is the body corporate as it relates to the District of Columbia. For municipal purposes, and may contract and be contracted with, sue and be sued, plead and impleaded, have a seal and exercise all powers of municipal corporation, not inconsistent with the Constitution laws of the United States. That's different. And the provisions of this act. So yes, there is two different United States. Catch up with me. Now, When we're talking about the Republican form of government, family, don't believe what people tell you, that it's a democracy. Family, you can call it what you want. You can say whatever you feel. But when somebody says that it's not a Republican form of government, it's a democracy, I implore you to ask them to show you the date and time when it was changed. Show you the date and time when it was changed. Let me break it down to you. This is what happened. A political party emerged. A political party emerged. And when the DC is not the headquarters, DC is the headquarters of the corporation, but the 50 states are not a part of the corporation. Now, when a political party emerged, right? The political party emerged was called the Democratic Party. And just like anything else, and this is why the prophet said we need control of the media, because they went on a campaign to validate their position. Now, a democracy is not that bit different than a republic form of politics. It's not that different. But when they came with this new party, they began to promote it. They begin to promote it and push it. That doesn't mean that they changed the form of government which was established. That didn't change the form of government. The form of government never changed. The form of government never changed. It's always been a democratic republic. Oh, he said, no, it's never been a democratic republic. It's never been a democratic republic. The form of government is this. It's never been a democratic republic. The federal government of the United States, U.S. federal government, is a national government of the United States. It's a constitutional republic of North America composed of 50 states, one district, Washington, D.C. It's a constitutional republic by the republic for which it stands. It has never been a democratic republic. By the republic for which it stands. You see, it's a constitutional republic in North America composed of 50 states. That is the one U.S., one district that is another, Washington, D.C., the nation's capital, and several territories. This is the second. This is the corporation. And like I said, I'm not going to give it all to you, but this is the corporation right here. Hold up. And I'm willing to prove it if anybody want to debate me on it. The one district, Washington, D.C., the nation's capital, and several territories. Those are the corporations. I mean, those are the corporations. So one part of the United States of America is composed of the 50 states. That's one. That's where you get your nationality from. The nationality of the United States of America is American. That's where you get that from. One district, Washington, D.C., that is the United States corporation. Anybody can challenge me with me. Anybody can challenge me. I'm ready for it. The federal government is composed of 3 district branches, distinct branches, legislative, executive, and judicial, whose power are vested by the U.S. Constitution and Congress, the president and the federal courts respectfully. The powers and the duty of these branches are further defined by the acts of Congress, including creation of executive departments and courts inferior to the Supreme Court. Again, it is a law alone that guides the destiny of this divine movement, family. And listen to what the prophets say. I know all true American citizens are defined by national descent names to answer and apply to free national constitution of the free national republic. The prophet even named it the free national republic. It never changed. It never changed. I don't know why we allow people to put in our head. But if it has changed, we need to see the date, we need to see the time, and we need to see the minutes from the meeting. Now, let me explain to you what a republic is. A republic is a country governed by elected representative. The U.S. is a republic constitutional, means that the government is bound by constitution. The U.S. has a constitutional form of government. A democracy is a country governed by its citizens with equal power. You see? That's the difference. That's difference. You see? It's governed by elected officials. A democracy is a country governed by citizens with equal power. We have to elect officials to represent us. And the elected officials represent the constituent. A difference is made between a pure democracy, aka direct democracy, where citizens directly make decisions. We don't directly make decisions. This is not a democracy by any stretch of imagination. We do not make decisions solely. We don't do that. Our representative or representative democracy, aka indirect democracy, where, and this is what we have right here, an indirect democracy, but it's not a democratic form of government where the citizens elect representatives to govern. You follow me? The U.S. is not a pure democracy. It is a representative democracy, which means they operate under the indirect democracy, but the actual form of government is a republic that has never been changed. That has never been changed. It has never been changed. Bottom line, everybody, and I don't know who everybody is in this sense, but this is what it says. Everybody agrees that the U.S. is a republic, even a constitutional republic. And when it's speaking of everybody, we're talking about those whose law school. I mean, those that have law degrees, those that study constitutional law, agrees that this is a U.S. republic. It has never changed. Don't let Taj fool you. It has never changed. Now, when we're dealing with the term America, this is very simple. The term America or America's actual refers to the land of the Western Hemisphere. I think we know that. These lands or New World actually comprise of two continents, North America, South America. The United States of America, where you get your nationality from, is here. The United States of America is a country located, and you know that, it is made up of 50 states and a federal district. It is referred to as United States, USA, USA, United SA, USA. Listen, this is the sense where I'm telling you that the Prophet Noble Drew Ali, using in this context, citizens of the United States and American citizens interchangeable. He's using them interchangeable. America referred to as United States, USA, USA, USA. America's in actuality, the term America and USA refer to two completely different things. Remember context, because America in some context is referring to North America. And then America in other contexts is referring to the 50 states. I mean, this should be very simple for us that live here. We should get it if we live here. They are, however, related in this relationship, and is actually the cause of the confusion. This is the cause of the confusion. Whereas though, when you got somebody like what is the guy named Cujo? Cujo think he's a Moorish American because he live on the, and I'm gonna show the difference in that in a minute. He thinks he's a Moorish American because he live on the continent of America, of North America. But that's not how nationality works. But this is where the confusion lies. The nationality of those within the 50 states of the United States of America is American. That's just what it is. You can't escape from that. You can't escape from that. But to claim that you're Moorish American just because you're in North America don't make sense. And I'm going to show you that in a minute. So it says the term America actually refers to the land in the Western Hemisphere. Matter of fact, I'm going to go ahead and did that right now. Let me did that right now. See if I can did that right now. Let me find what I need. Let's did that right now. When you look at brothers like Cool Joe, and he think he's a Moorish American, that doesn't make sense. And when you look at somebody like Jay Day, what I'm about to show you is a nationality card. What I'm about to show you is a nationality card from 1928, during the time of the Prophet. I'm about to show you a nationality card during the time of the Prophet, just in case y'all think somebody that mocked this thing up. This is an old nationality card from 1928. You see what it say on the bottom here? I am a citizen of the USA. Nobody made this up. This was during the time of the Prophet. You don't have to believe it. I asked you to try to understand what the Prophet was working, the degrees he was working. Obviously, you don't get it. But I'm telling you, stick with me and you'll get it if you allow yourself. This is an original nationality card from the time of the Prophet when he changed them. You see, when he changed them from this one, that is the Moorish Holy Temple of Science nationality card. You follow me? He changed it from this and added, I am a citizen of the USA on that. I am the citizen of the USA. Now, you can try to flip it what you wanted to, but USA to me is USA. Tomato, tomato. So, man, maybe we need to try to understand what was the Prophet working. Now, when you look at brothers like Cool Joe that think that he's a Moorish American, well, we got a nationality card that the Prophet made when he went to Cuba. Cuba is in North America too. I think it's one of the adjoining islands. And so when you look at that, este no su no cielos y miembros que se por el Moorish Holy Temple of the Science, Juan Nacimiento, and on and on and on. But notice at the bottom here, and this ain't marked out. Notice at the bottom, it does not say I'm a citizen of the USA, but it's the Cuban Americano headquarters. Cuban Americano, in this sense, relates to North America. But you don't see I'm a citizen of the USA. This just says Cuban Americano headquarters. But on the bottom, you don't see I'm a citizen of the USA. Why? Because a Cuban cannot be a Moorish American. They can be Moorish Cuban. Just as the brother in Canada, he would have to be Moorish Canadian. He couldn't be Moorish American. Because American, as it relates to a nationality, is consistent with the borders of the United States of America. The nationality of a Cuban would be consistent with the borders of Cuba. So at the bottom of this, you don't see what you see at the bottom of this. I am a citizen of the United States. Matter of fact, it has everything except that. You see? It even has the address on where to call the Prophet in Chicago. You see? So he would, so somebody like Cujo will have to proclaim his nationality as Moorish Canadian because he was born on Canadian soil. And this is why we have to teach these lessons to comprehend so people can comprehend so we can get the ball rolling on the divine plans of the ages. You know what I mean? You can't be a citizen of North America as it relates to a nationality. Nationality is a designation of a country. It's not a designation of a continent. That was just like you Moorish American as it relates to a continent. You might as well go back and call yourself African American. You might as well go back and call yourself. You don't understand? Do you understand that nationality relates to a geographical location, territory called a country, a nation? It doesn't relate. It doesn't relate to a continent. So when you look at, this brother say you don't see nothing relating to Cuba. This is a nationality card from Cuba. That's why it's in Spanish. Okay? That's why it's in Spanish. Anyway, I'm not going to waste a lot of time with you. Let's go here. So we already know the territory of the United States. I want to get this ball rolling and move on. I think I done knocked a lot of this stuff out the park. But this is what my brother Ishmael Bey was talking about Puerto Rico, Guam, and Virgin Islands are unincorporated organized territories of the United States. And the reason why they are unincorporated, because the District of Columbia is an incorporated organized district under the direct control of Congress, because that is incorporated and that corporation owns Puerto Rico, Guam, Virgin Islands, et cetera, et cetera. Okay? Okay. So let's get back to this. And I'm telling you, this last few minutes that I got a lot of stuff going. I got about 8 more slides, and then I'm going to take you on a journey that you ain't going to never forget. Honor to my brother Ishmael Bey. So this is another misappropriated understanding taught by Taj. He calls his school the Moors Heritage of History School, was established by Sister Rasmala Bey. But now, he says it was established by her, but the first time I ever heard of it was from Taj. Anyway, in 2006, to assist in the moving information surrounding the Moors, divine and national movement of the world. Family, I hate to be the bearer of bad news, but there is no such thing as the Moors, divine and national movement of the world as taught by Prophet Noble Drew Ali. There is none. It doesn't exist. The Moors, divine and national movement was established by the Prophet Noble Drew Ali. Family, that is a flat out lie. The Moors, and you cannot be around the Moorish Science Temple of America and make an error like that. You cannot call yourself a Moorish American and make your error like that. Matter of fact, that is misleading. And it's meant to mislead for some other reason. Because here's the seal from 1915, 16, I think. And on this seal, let me move this out of the way. And on this seal, this is Noble Drew Ali, the founder of the Moorish Divine Movement of North America. No Moors, Moorish Divine Movement of North America. That's in 1915 or 16. Now, the Prophet movement is the Moorish Divine and National Movement, not Moors. She says that the Moors Divine and National Movement founded by Prophet Noble Drew Ali. He didn't find that movement. And you cannot say that you're a sheik, you're an adept, or anybody to make that misunderstanding. The Prophet know when he named this movement. This is an old flyer. Okay, this is an old flyer. All right. And 2 points I want to make with this flyer. The Moorish Divine and National Movement and the Moorish Science Temple of America is one and the same. They're not separate. They're one and the same. How do we know? We look at the top of this flyer, and on this flyer, it says, let me spread it out so you can see it real good. We look at this old flyer, and on this old flyer, at the top of it, it says Moorish National, the Moorish Divine and National Movement. That's number one. Second thing it says is membership is free. Okay. Then it goes down. Come on, you Asiatics, learn the truth about your nationality and birthright. In this context, and I can prove it if anybody want to debate me, in this context, birthright is relating to being born on this soil. And being born on this soil, you have right of birth. But that's another topic, because you are not colored, ECT. And you must claim a free national name to be an American citizen. Again, he's using American citizen because it is connected to Moorish American. That's my interpretation, but I will go further to prove it with anybody who wish to debate me on it. I got more in my chic bag. Shout out to Moorish American Society of Maryland. We got chic bags. We got some stuff up in there. It said, learn of your forefathers' divine and ancient creed that you may learn to love instead of hate. We are trying to uplift fallen humanity. Come link yourself with the families of nations. We honor all true and divine prophet Jesus, Muhammad, Buddha, Confucius. Under this divine principle, all Asiatics of America, listen, the prophet is trying to unite us under a divine principle. Under this divine principle, we're talking about the principle of nationality that connects you back to God. Under this divine principle, all Asiatics of America need to come and take out their nationality and identification card for the Moorish Science Temple of America, that you may be blessed by your Father God, Allah. Okay? These holy and divine words are from the Prophet Noble Drew Ali, the founder of the Moorish Science Temple of America. This is how we know the Moorish National Divine Movement and the Moorish Science Temple of America are the same. Because right beneath that, it's about to tell you where the meetings are held. The membership is free to the Moorish National Divine Movement, Divine and National Movement, and this is where the meetings are held. 3140 Indiana Avenue, Chicago, Illinois. $39.40. If you want to know where the Moorish Divine and National Movement at in 1929, 1928, $39.40 Indiana Avenue, Chicago, Illinois. That's where the Moorish Divine and National Movement was. That's where the Moorish Science Temple of America was. Huh? The main office is 3603 Indiana Avenue, Chicago, Illinois. If you want to call, the telephone Douglas is 5909. And these are where the meeting's at. Meeting at the temple every Friday and Sunday, 7:30 p.m. to 10 p.m. The Moorish Divine and National Movement and the Moorish Science Temple of America is interchangeable. Why do we act like it's separate? Or we allow people to hijack the Moorish Divine and National Movement as if it's separate. It's not separate. It's never been separate. It goes on to say the Quran class is held every Sunday 2 p.m. and 3:30, 2 p.m. to 3:30 p.m. as held from 2:30 to 4. We go over sometimes. We are at the office every day at 12 noon until 7 p.m. that you may come and take out your membership card. Use our old Moorish healing oils and herbs for your human ailments, that you may come take out your membership card. So that brings me to this. I've got 2 more segments, family. Please stay with me. I appreciate you. Get some water. Get the baby something to drink. Make sure they get to bed. They might got school tomorrow. Whatever the case may be, stay with me because I'm going to close this with a finale that you need to see. So we see that this is misleading information. You cannot claim to be a teacher of any sort of Moorish science and mess up Moors' National Divine Movement, and then twice, and start talking about natural persons and status, corporate entities, and all of that stuff that the prophet never, ever represented in any of his doctrine. You cannot find it nowhere in his doctrine. So now, family, in this next segment, I want to share with you something that is real important, but is controversial. This next segment, I got 2 more segments. This one is not too, this one is brief. Again, if one says that they are Moorish American Muslim and that they are Sheikh and that they are this, that, and the other, then what you want to do is ask who taught them. Who is your leader? Take me to your leader. Show me your Sheikh papers. Show me your divine minister papers. Taj says that he's a grand Sheikh. Ask him. Don't be scared. Who made you a grand Sheikh? What chamber did you go through? And can you provide your Sheikh papers? I'm not saying that the brother don't know some things, because obviously he do. But I'm pointing out that this is a type of information that is literally information that has to be taught by elders to the next person. And it has to be studied. It has to be prayed on. I mean, it's a whole bunch. Brother, I'm not bashing Taj. I just want people to know that wherever they're getting their information from, check the person out before they accept it as real. Because I done already showed the inconsistencies, and I can go on for days. I could go through the whole website. I could go through all videos. I can go on for days. But that's not the point. I'm only trying to show the inconsistency in the information. Okay. So now the next thing is this. Can you be a Moorish American, or are you a Moorish American, without being a part of the Moorish Science Temple of America? The answer is yes and no. Watch this. The answer is yes and no. The answer is you can call yourself whatever you want. That don't make it so. But if you say B, then it is, that's on you. But now the fact of the matter, the real fact of the matter, is you cannot be a Moorish American legitimately if you're not a part of an organized group called the Moorish Science Temple of America. You cannot be a Moorish American legitimately without being a member of the Moorish Science Temple of America. Let's get into it. Back to the screen share. So what qualifies that is 2 things. 2 things will qualify that for you. First of all, when the prophet set up the movement, he set the movement up as a body politic. Anybody agree? He set the movement up as a body politic. Moorish American is not a religion, brother. Moorish American is a nationality. Stick with me. Moorish American is a nationality. K-Band 11, I'm about to touch that real quick. Now check this out. When the Prophet Noble Ali set up the Moorish Science Temple of America as an organization, the Moorish National and Divine Movement as an organization, he filed it under what is known as Heard's Revised Statute. When he filed it under Heard's Revised Statute, you got to let Heard's Revised Statute speak to you. And when you let it speak to you, you will know that he filed it to be a body politic. What am I saying? A body politic is a nation. A body politic is a nation that is in the infancy stages of development. When you file under Heard's Revised Statute, that's the first step to developing an organization that is going to metamorphose into a nation. That's what Heard's Revised. When the Prophet Noble Ali make the statement, he says he moved to Chicago because the laws of Chicago were suitable, and I'm paraphrasing, suitable for the objective of what he was trying to reach. And the law that he filed this organization under was under Heard's Revised Statute. So what you see on this paper is the filing. This filing right here of 1928 is different from the one from 26. But what you read is on back of your questionnaire. It's on back of your questionnaire. It says, let me see if I can open it up for you. It says, the Moorish Science Temple of America. First, it goes on to say, do solemnly swear that the meeting of the members of the Moorish Science Temple of America, held in Chicago, in the county of Cook, in the state of Illinois, on the 20th day of July, AD 1928, for the purpose of the following person were appointed. He scratched out elected, appointed. He appointed them, sheiks. Not trustees, sheiks. Why did he do that? Because when you read Heard's Revised Statute, it says in Heard's Revised Statute that, y'all talk about this as a trust statement. He scratched out trust. This is the document right here. The point of the matter is, I think that say president, whatever. The point of the matter I'm making is that when you read Heard's Revised Statute, you understand that when you file under Heard's Revised Statute, you can create the title to fit the position or the objective that you're trying to meet. And this sense, it says, I do solemnly swear, affirm, that at the meeting of the members, and then it says here, insert name of church, society, or congregation as known before corporation. In this sense, we didn't open a church. He wasn't talking about a congregation. He was talking about a society. It's obvious. He was talking about a society as known before the corporation. He even could be talking about a congregation, but we know he's talking about a society because we're dealing with nationality. Held here, and this is what we're reading, in the county of Illinois, in the state of Illinois, for the purpose of the following person be elected. The Prophet Noble Ali put appointed. And insert the names and the prophet scratched out trustees. So all of y'all who say that's a trust document, he scratched out trustees and put sheiks there. You can't read? Let me make it bigger for you. He scratched out trustees and put sheiks there. For all of y'all who say that this is a trust document. All right? He put sheiks there. All of y'all that want to try to chase a trust, this fictitious trust. I can tell you what the trust really is. It's not what you think it is. It's not what you think it is. So here we go. The prophet was forming, it goes on to say, let me read the rest of it for you because I want y'all to get this. It goes on to say, trustees, the prophet scratches it out. He scratches it out and put sheiks there. But it says that you can kin and hers by statute or warden, vestryman, or officer, or whatever name you choose to adopt with powers, duties similar. Keep saying trustees, similar to trustees. Okay? According to the rules and usage of such church, he didn't form a church, society, or congregation. Let's stop there. With us, all members must proclaim their nationality according to the rules and usage. And then you are entitled to the name of faithful, according with the rules and usage. And the church, society, or congregation, again, he didn't establish a church. He used it for society, adopted as his corporate name, Moorish Science Temple of America, at the meeting affidavit as the chairman secretary, as may be subscribed, sworn before the inserted date, name of affidavit. And that person is presiding officer, Prophet Noble Drew Ali, and it says Drew Ali. So now the question becomes this. I do solemnly swear that the meeting of the members of the Moorish Science Temple of America, in order to be Moorish American, was born out of this society that was formed. And if you're not going to be a part of the society, then Moorish American don't relate to you. You know what I mean? The Moorish American don't relate to you. It can't relate to you. Because to be a Moorish American is be relative to society called the Moorish Science Temple of America, now the organization that grows into a nation. Now I'm going to show you how. Let me give you an example. I'm going to give you an example real quick. Let me delete this guy real quick. Let me delete this guy real quick because I don't do cussing on the channel. All right. So this is how we know. You don't have to agree, but stick around and listen. When we look at the European Jew is made up of what we will call, for the sake of this conversation, Jews. I will teeter back and forth from European Jew to Jew, but I'm saying European Jew. When we look at the European Jew, about 1.4 million, mainly in France, Germany, and Russia, the United Kingdom, Hungary, Belgium. The Sephardi Jew, 400,000, mainly Spain, Portugal, France, Morocco, Turkey, Greece, Belgium. The Mizrahi Jew, 300,000, mainly France. These are all European Jews for the most part. and I'm saying for the most part, Italian Jews, about 45,000. Now, what I'm bringing up the Jews for? The reason that I'm bringing up the Jews for is because before they created or founded the nation state called Israel, before they founded the nation state called Israel, they were all Jews. In other words, we all Moors. They say it's our birthright. We all Moors. And they are all Jews. But all Jews are not Israeli until they make an allegiance to the nation state of Israel. We are all Moors, just like this European Jew claimed that they're all Jews. But you're not an Israeli until you make an allegiance to the nation state of Israel. That's it. So the rules of being a Moorish American is with us, all members must proclaim their nationality. Not willy-nilly proclaim a nationality. No, with us. With us. The Moorish Science Temple of America. With us. Our people must proclaim our nationality, and we'll teach. If you proclaim your nationality and you're not with us, the nationality is null and void. Because remember, Prophet Noble Drew Ali is metamorphosing from an organization to a society. So I'm using the European Jew as an example because that's the best example that I can use. I know we are the Jew. John Day, I get that. I'm speaking to the European that calls himself a Jew. How he established himself a nation state. And how, when he make an allegiance to that nation state, he's still a European Jew in his eyes, but his national identity becomes Israeli by his allegiance. By his allegiance. So your allegiance to the body politic make you a Moorish American. With us, all members must proclaim their nationality. And we're teaching our people that nationality in their divine creed. Without us, you can say it, but it must be relative to the nation state. It must be relative to the organization that's going to metamorphose into that. So you ask yourself, what is a body politic? Any church, congregational, society formed for the purpose of religious worship or society is where we're working from. Listen, by electing, appointing according to its uses and customs at any meeting held for that purpose. That's why when you see right here, the prophet said, I do solemnly swear that at a meeting of members of the Moorish Science Temple of America, at the meeting of the members of the Moorish, he was creating a society. He created a society. And for those who understand, will be able to build on it and take it to the next level. Unfortunately, many don't understand. But we're working on it. So when you look at it, by electing or appointing according to uses of customs at a meeting held for the purpose, 2 or more members as trustees. Now, this is what the body politic. But the prophet didn't use trustees, he used sheiks. And so people running calling this a trust document. I get what you're saying, but the prophet used sheiks. And he used sheiks for a reason. He used it for a reason. You follow me? So you can be a Moor, but to be a Moorish American, you must be in line with the rules and usage and customs of the society, body politic, under the banner of the Moorish Science Temple of America, regardless of what body you're a part of. The Moorish Science Temple of America is the name. So, Israelis are citizens or permanent residents of the state of Israel, a multi ethnic state populated by people of different ethnic background. And I will add that had made their allegiance. A Moorish American is a member of the Moorish Science Temple of America, consisting of a multi-Moorish culture, a Moroccan empire, descended from northwest, southwestern shores of Africa. And the Moroccan empire we know extended to North, South, Central America. These are all Moors. But until you make an allegiance to the body politic, you can't claim to be Moorish American. You can, but it don't work like that. Being a Moorish American ain't a religion. Being a Moorish American is a way of life. Religion is a way of life, if that's what you want to hear. Yes. It's not the religion of what you think. A European Jew is not necessarily, hold up. A European Jew is not necessarily Israeli, unless he make an allegiance to the state of Israel. Okay? A Moor is not necessarily a Moorish American unless he make an allegiance to the body politic that was created. Let me write created in there because people will come and watch. For the express purpose describes in Heard's revised statute. Is it? A Moor is not necessarily a Moorish American unless he makes an allegiance to the body politic that was created for the express purpose as described in Heard's revised statute. That's what it is. So, real quick, as I keep it moving, the reason why nationality is so important, I'd like to express that being a Moorish American in this era of time, matter of fact, I want to skip that because I'll wait for somebody to come at me. I'll skip that too. I'm going to save some of this stuff. I'm going to save some of this. So let's get to this. So the reason why I speak on our brother Taj, and I don't call it bashing, I speak on our brother Taj for sisters like this. I take some questions once it's over. This is the reason why I speak on and I say brother Taj's name. Here we go. Now see the sister, 26 years old. Sister been through some things. Let me share with you some of the things that the sister been through by a misunderstanding of what Moorish Science Temple of America is all about. Sister been through some things, and it's rather recent. So everybody talk about I'm bashing Taj. Not true. Everybody say I'm bashing Taj. Not true. Family, what I'm doing is trying to bring awareness to the true and living teachings of the Prophet Noble Drew Ali so we can avoid headaches that this sister encountered. First of all, this sister had her children taken. And what the sister did was she filed this affidavit. Walk with me. This is May 29, 2018. She filed this affidavit, right? In hopes to get her children back. Now, this affidavit is basically instructions from Taj Tariq Bey. Mind you, I have a son. Everybody on Moorish World TV have seen my son if they've been tuning in. I keep my son with me. That's my guy. That's my guy. So when I hear something about somebody getting their children taken for practicing this stuff, we got to do something about it. So the first thing that the sister complained, the third thing that the sister complained about is that ODOM lawyers are for slaves. Basically, talking about those who call themselves lawyers are for slaves. And those who don't know the law and bar registration number is not a license to practice law. That comes from the book, the playbook of Taj. Officers of the court have no immunity when violating the constitutional right from liability, for they are deemed to know the law. This is what she's writing. To fight to get her children back. She filed it. She filed it. But let's listen to the story. She begins to quote the Treaty of Peace and Friendship of Morocco. But my question would be, why didn't she call Taj Tariq to help her or anybody that teaches this? So she files this notice of correction, the courts. This is the instruction that Taj Tariq gave. Courts are bound to protect the Constitution and the Treaty of Peace and Friendship of Morocco, in which Jeffrey he violated. He is not immune for liability due to acting in both. Now, in reality, I'm going to go on down and get to the real point. She's calling Paul B. Koenigs is corrupted and crooked. Koenig failed as a state of jurisdiction, et cetera, et cetera. Now she's making all of these complaints in this affidavit, right? But let's look at what happened. First of all, let's look at what happened. Y'all ready? Here we go. A report was generated through the Florida Child Abuse Hotline. Hereinafter, quote unquote, hotline. And assigned to the Indian River County for investigation. The investigation was initially assigned to the Children Protective Investigator, Ashley Danley. January 26, 2018. And alleged maltreatments of environmental hazard, domestic violence, and substance abuse. CPI Delaney interviewed Sophia Delisma and Camilo Enemy on January 26, 2018. Sophia and Camilo denied allegations in the abuse report and admitted to recreational use of marijuana, explaining they do not use marijuana in front of their children. This is what they told the child protective people. CPI Delaney observed, this is supposed to be Moors now. CPI Delaney observed the children both asleep and awake. CPI Delaney briefly observed the house inside the residence. The following week, Sophia and Carmelo went to Vero Beach Service Center. Sophia and Carmelo wanted to speak with the supervisor and wanted to know who had reported them to the hotline. Sophia and Camilo spoke to CPI Delaney of Vero Beach Service Center. Sophia and Camelo made CPI Delaney feel uncomfortable due to their behavior, which included yelling and appearing very agitated. Now, these people are investigating to take their children, and this is how they're rolling up on them. Due to their behavior, okay, they standing on law. I get it, stand on law. Sophia and Delaney, CPI Delaney, uncomfortable due to their behavior, which included yelling, appearing very agitated, and insisted there was conspiracy between former landlord William Lee and Rivera Beach Police Department. CPI Delaney expressed her concerns and to her supervisor, and it goes on down. And I'm going to just read the highlighted parts now. Robert Shea spoke to Sophia and Camelo multiple times with respect to their complaints. Sophia and Camelo wanted a copy of the reports of the accused landlord of being racist, Loveland of being racist during all phone conversations. Goes on to say, Conspiracy theories, they crying of conspiracy theories. It goes on to say, in the video, Sophia and Camilo are extremely agitated. They videotaped them and they still wilding. Upon entering Rivera Beach Service Center, Sophia and Camilo attended immediately stated their intent to report a hate crime and file charges on DCF agents. Great. No problem. Do your thing. Sophia, Tomasia, and da-da-da-da. They go on and on and on. It goes on. Robert Shea testified Sophia and Camilo irrational and paranoid statements caused him concern for safety and welfare of the children. There it goes. There it goes. Calls them safety and welfare for the welfare of the children. You follow me? Now, this is the reason why that Taj Tariq stuff is dangerous. Watch this. Watch this. Robert Shea alerted to the program administrator, Amy, who coordinated the intervention. Now they're ready to intervene now. Who coordinated the intervention by a mobile crisis team to meet with the parents and assess their mental status. Mind you, they quoting a lot of Taj stuff. I ain't reading through the whole thing. But CPI, Kenneth Shaw worked with the mobile crisis effort to meet with the family. CPI Shaw went to the resident February 8th, 2018. This is very recent. It says, Sophia answered the phone. Carmelo took over the conversation. You know what I mean? She talking, he snatched the phone, told Carmelo, Carmelo is not Haitian. He is American. And CPI Shaw communicated his efforts to the program administrator. They documented everything. But now check this out. Amy Gregory directed a welfare check of the children February 10th, 2018. CPI Anna Weatherly, CPI Steve Kalisic, and CPIS Tiffany Perry went to the residence. Now here we go on February 10th, 2018, with law enforcement to complete the welfare check. Sophia was in the residence, a small recreational vehicle. This was their house, a small recreational vehicle with children. Sophia refused to open the door. Sophia was at the window, holding one of the children, screaming and yelling at the investigator. Sophia was very upset. She did not believe the investigator was from the department. That during her yelling and screaming, called the investigators federal agents and assassins that were sent to kill them. The oldest child was screaming and yelling, repeating the mother's rhetoric. The children were heard screaming and crying. The investigators called Robert Shea from the field to make a decision was made from the field, and decision was made to shelter the children. Now they're ready to take the children. They're ready to take the children. Now watch what I'm telling you. You might say, well, this got to do with Taj. I'm going to tell you, this is how it started. Watch. The investigation attempted to speak to the mother and explain the decision of the shelter. Sophia would not cooperate with the decision to the shelter of the children. Sophia was told there would be a shelter hearing the following morning. Sophia responded, there is no court on the weekend. The mother did not attend the shelter hearing on February 11, 2018. After the shelter hearing, February 11, 2018, Anna Weatherly returned to the residence with Corporal Scriver and Deputy Harlett to remove the children. I know she probably think they ain't have a delegation of authority, but that ain't so. To remove the children. Sophia was in the residence with the children. Sophia immediately began filming. Corporal Scriver showed Sophia the court order through the window. Sophia said the order was fake. Sophia yelled, directing law enforcement investigators to leave, yelled that her rights were being violated, yelled, this is treason, this is harassment, my phone is being tapped right now. They're violating my amendment rights, my Bill of Constitution. My forefathers made that for me. The people who died, blood in the dirt for me, enslaved, my forefathers. This is hate crime conspiracy. This is treason. This is treason. This is treason. This is treason. Think about the psychology. Think about this psychology, family. Think about the psychology. Where does this, while Sophia is yelling through the window, Carmelo comes to the property filming on Facebook Live. I hope Carmelo don't get mad at me to address this because he went on Facebook Live. The children are in the RV screaming and crying. Ventrell is yelling at law enforcement and investigators. Get off my property. I don't want to leave. White people just want black kids. Y'all treat us like doo-doo. Y'all treat us like dogs. We came from a moldy house. You're trying to kill us. Sophia coaches Ventrell and tells his what to say. The other two children are screaming and crying in the background. Carmelo approaches the window of the RV, the mother's repeating the mother's rhetoric. The children screaming, crying, yelling intensifies when Carmelo approaches. Law enforcement shows Carmelo the court order. Law enforcement shows Carmelo the court order and places the children in the shelter care. Sophia and Carmelo do not comply with the court order. Investigating law enforcement was unable to safely enter the property to receive the children. They going hard. CPE Weatherly and Deputy Harley returned to the RVB the afternoon, February 11, 2018. Weatherly and Deputy Harley entered the RV and observed at this heaved condition with power cords running cars. They coming up with everything but the kitchen sink. Everything about the kitchen sink to try to condemn our brother and sister right here. This evil condition with the power cords running across the sink. Hardly any place to walk. They go in extreme descriptions now. A little food in the refrigerator. The condition of the home are hazardous to the children. Similar condition was observed in the video the mother made hours early during the removal attempt described above. Sophia and Carmelo recorded multiple encounters with public agency, including Rivera Beach Police, Police Chief Curry, Indiana, The children are present in many of these videos and are exposed to the parents' ongoing rhetoric of their lives being in danger. People out to kill them, treason and conspiracy by government agencies out to get them. The children are then seen acting like their parents and displaying behaviors directly correlated with the parents' behavior. Let's finish. The children jurisdiction, the children of age subject to jurisdiction of this court. The children was ultimately taken. The children was ultimately taken, okay? The department filed family functioning assessment and its compliance with the statutory requirements. The parents were provided a copy of the FFA and their whereabouts are unknown. It goes on to say, the case plan goal is reunification with the concurrent goal of adoption and the goal date of July 30th, 2018. Now they want to adopt the children out. The state wants to adopt the children out. So it goes on to say, out of home placement. It is in the best interest of the children to remain out of the parents' home at this time. The children are receiving safe and proper care. So they got the children and the children are elsewhere. The children's current placement are least restrictive, are appropriate, are setting that the family-like, are in a setting that is as family-like, as close to a parent home as possible. They drumming that to be a better condition. As consistent with the children's best interests and special needs, are designed to maintain stability in the children's educational placements. Continuation of the children in the home are contrary to the welfare of the children. They're going to take them. They're going to take them and do nothing. And they can do nothing. It goes on to say, which cannot be mitigated, it says, contrary to the children's, because home situation presents substantial immediate danger to the children, which cannot be mitigated by the provision of the preventative services at this time. Meaning, like, there's nothing they can do. There's nothing they can do but take these children out of this home. Reasonable efforts to prevent removal and eliminate the children for removal from the home have been made by the Department of Children and Families. However, there is continued need of out-of-home placement to ensure the children's health, safety, and well-being, and reunification with the mother and father at this time would be contrary to the best interest welfare of the children. Upon consideration of the evidence presented with the court, the children cannot safely remain at home with an in-home safety plan. So, guess what? Now, all of this delegation of authority, all of that goes out the window. But watch what they do. I'm almost done. Foster care with the department. Diligent efforts was made by the Department of Children and Families to locate adult relative and a non-relative caregiver willing to care for the children in order to present that placement option to the court, which means they was looking for family members. Instead, continue placement with the Department of Children and Families. There are no available relatives or non-relative caregivers with whom the children can be placed at this time. All right? After all of that, family, I'm going to go through this real quick because I don't want to be too much longer. After all of that, this is what they filed. This is what they filed. So somebody said, but we are a nation and a body politic partners with them. No, we not, brother, because we don't demonstrate this, and we got to teach our people that moving in that fashion is not consistent with how we supposed to move. Moving like this is not how Moorish American moves. It's the point. So this document is something that was put together by R.V. Bey and Taj Tariq. And this is what they're going to file to try to get their children back. On May 25th, 2018, this is what they filed. The Moorish National Republic, Federal Government, Northwest Africa. It used to say a maxim on an old document. The Moorish, Divine and National Movement of the World. Northwest of Maxim. The North Gate. There is no discretion to ignore lack of jurisdiction. They filing and saying that they don't have jurisdiction to take their children. Well, they took them. That's why they call them kidnapping. Well, they took them. They go on to say they don't have a delegation of authority and proof of jurisdiction. It already said the court assumed jurisdiction. This is all pre-written and punched in by those who trying to fight this. But now look at this. Again, I did a presentation before. They sent a copy to the United Nations. They sent a copy to the International Criminal Court. They sent a copy to the Netherlands. They sent a copy to Interpol in France. They sent a copy to Donald Trump in the White House. They sent us out to the Department of State, Mike Pompeo. Great Seal, National Association of Moorish Affairs, Minister Taj Tariq Bey. Taj Tariq Bey. That's it. And you mean that nobody wants to hold this accountable? Nobody think that this is irresponsible? Nobody think that this is irresponsible? Nobody think this is irresponsible? Is it only me? That they're going to try to fight back and get some children back using some documents off of R.V. Bey. This is unacceptable. We can't blame it on the Temple Moors. We can't blame it on Moors in the Temple because the Moors don't move like that. Moorish Americans do not move like that. Smoking weed for recreational use. Talking this crazy. It's unacceptable. This is not a fight with each other. Family, I'm going to stop it right there because this concludes my presentation. And I think I pointed out a lot. I think the point that I was making, The point that I was making is to show the differences. To show the differences. What Taj Tariq teach, and it's not the same as the Prophet Noble Drew Ali's teachings. It's not the same. It's detrimental, and it's destructive, it's dangerous, and it's irresponsible. And the question is, what about the Temple Moors and family? Most people in the temple had no understanding or comprehension that this even happened. Me being a head of a temple, if that was to happen to a member in my temple, I would be right there trying to figure out what's going on. How can I get this straight? How can we fix this? Hold up, be quiet, Sophia, chill out for a minute. What's going on? No, I think this is a big misunderstanding. I will be there trying to represent. But they're not a part of the Moorish Science Temple of America. They're getting this stuff off of the internet, and they're running with it and you losing their children. I mean, come on now. If nobody going to step up and say, no, that's not the way to go, then you are a part of the problem. Then you are part of the problem. You know what I'm saying? Somebody need to step up. Somebody need to step up. And this is why we pose the move. We pose the move like a body politic. So when one of us get hemmed up in any type of way, which we should not be acting outside of the laws of the divine constitution and bylaws. And the constitution and bylaws says we are part and parcel of the said government. We are not to overthrow it, but to obey hereby. You obey the laws of the land by the way of obeying the Constitution and bylaws. But if you're not aware of the Constitution and bylaws, how can you obey it? How can you obey it? If anybody watched this presentation and they can't see that I point out the inconsistencies, that I didn't finish it off pointing out the reckless, the gross negligence of this R.V. Bey doctrine, then they just want to be crazy. They just want to be duped. They just want to be misled. And so unless somebody challenge me to a debate for the next few months, I ain't going to say nothing. Unless somebody want to debate me on the facts of my presentation in here, I'm not saying nothing. Because at this point, I done put all the information out. At this point, I done did the comparisons. Nothing else to be said. There's nothing else to be said. Period, point blank. I should go on for a few minutes. Anybody got any questions? Anybody got any questions? I should put the link in. I'm gonna go in 15 minutes. Who want to come? Who want to hang out with me? I'm gonna put the link in. Put the link in the chat. Who want to hang out with me? Maybe somebody got something good to say. I'm gonna put the link in the chat. I don't never do this. Let's see who got some fortitude. Put the link in the chat. That's the link. Somebody hit the link, they can come on in. Somebody hit the link, they can come on in. That's right. You can hit the link and come on in. I take any questions you want. It don't matter. Take any question you want. For the next 15 minutes, I will take any questions you want as it relates to the teachings of the Prophet Noble Drew Ali, as it relates to birthrights, anything you want. I answer any question you want. I'm telling you, I haven't even dug in my chic bag yet. I haven't dug it in there yet. I haven't dug in the chic bag yet, but I could pull out the chic bag, you know. The only thing I'm saying, family, is that the Prophet Noble Drew Ali delivered us a sound, clear path. What do you believe in the Constitution? I believe in the principles of the Constitution, absolutely. I believe in the principles of the Constitution. Now, do I believe that the European believe in the principles of the Constitution? Probably not. But I believe in the principles of the Constitution. I know how we can flip it and make it work and have a benefit. I know how we can flip it and make it work and have benefit, because the Prophet Noble Drew Ali, see, the litmus test is to look at the successes of the Prophet Noble Drew Ali. And if he could have did that, if he demonstrated that from 26 to 29, if you know the history and you know the successes, then you'll understand how to move. A lot of us don't know the history of Prophet Noble Drew Ali, so we don't have a litmus test to compare it to. But I know that the Moors was millionaires. I know that the Moors had land. I know that the Moors had all the luxuries and all the education that it took. I know. And they did that in the midst of Jim Crowism. See, one thing you're forgetting is the era of time where they accomplished this. We have many Asiatic areas, so-called Black areas, so-called African-American areas, where our numbers can supersede. No, Taj, brother, John Carr, what you have to do is go back to the beginning of this presentation, and you can see that Taj is contradicting the Prophet Noble Drew Ali work. So it's very impossible for him to finish Prophet Noble Drew Ali work, because he's a total contradiction to the Prophet Noble Drew Ali work. And that's with all due respect. Anybody can challenge me on it. He's a total contradiction. He's a total contradiction. He's a total contradiction. And that's just what it is. I know he's popular. I know he's popular. John, Islam, welcome to Moorish Round TV. We in the building. Hold on. Let me get y'all proper invitation.
Islam.
Islam. Let me get y'all a proper demonstration. I love when my family comes through. Let me get y'all proper one.
Now, do I believe that the European believe in the principles of the Constitution? Probably not. But I believe in the principles of the Constitution.
Mute yourself real quick. Matter of fact, John, I don't know who you are, brother, but let's be respectful. No cursing, no disrespect. And brother, come on, brother, add to the conversation. Let the people know where you're from and what you got to add to the conversation.
If he demonstrated that from 26 to 29, if you know the history and you know the successes, then you understand how to move. A lot of us don't know.
Okay, I got to mute you, John Dake. Brother, you got to cut the background off so we can hear you, brother. You got to cut your background off, because you're going to get some feed in. With that, I'm bringing a brother, Las Vegas, by the way, of Syracuse. I don't know who he is. Y'all don't know who he is, but we're going to see who he is. I just see he got a business suit on with an icon up on the screen.
Peace, Brother Tahaka. How you doing tonight, family?
Hey, brother, I'm doing well. I'm gonna mute you, John, until I'm gonna get back to you. Let my brother Ish come in, and then I get right back to you. Islam, brother Ish.
Islam, family. How you doing tonight?
Hey, brother, I'm doing good. I'm doing good. I want to see what you guys say about this presentation, brother.
I must say, brother, you did an excellent demonstration. I thought that the information that you put, it was very balanced. It was very thorough. You backed up everything that you were saying. And again, nobody has been more vocal on saving hundreds and thousands of lives than you by using your forum and doing this. No one has been more vocal on trying just to save families and trying to save lives. You brought attorneys on, you brought guests on, you brought other people with viewpoints on, just trying to save families. And this was just last week, and we see exactly what's going on. Families still being broken up, going into prison. They're in these courthouses talking about secret treaties of Veronas and writing to the popes and all this other stuff. I mean, and the families are just being ripped apart, listening to this irresponsible information being disseminated via the internet with no checks and balances. That's all we've been saying, is that in the name of Prophet Noble Drew Ali being dragged into this, it is irresponsible to be putting out this information like this. And these people are taking this information, and families are going to jail over and over and over again. So I salute the work that you're doing, brother, and we're here to support you 110%. We're lockstep with you every single step of the way, and that's never going to change.
Islam, brother. And I want to say, brother, I had much more information. I actually had another whole row of slides, but I said, you know what? if anybody want to challenge me, I accept the challenge. I won't do it randomly. I would rather do it scheduled so we can bring all of our proof, because I don't want to have a conversation where it's back and forth. I want to have proof to what I'm talking about. And anybody want to challenge me, but I'm glad that the brother John, I appreciate you, Ish. I know you got my back, brother. I'm glad that the brother John came in because he was chatting up in the chat. But brother, the floor is yours, and keep it clean, keep it good, and let's go. I think you've been keeping it clean for a long time on that chat. But brother, the floor is yours, brother. Are you there?
We're waiting for Brother John, right? Is that correct, Brother John?
Yes. Are you there, bro? You got to unmute yourself. I muted you, but you got to unmute yourself. Let me see if I can unmute you. I see you trying. It's hard for me to unmute. Let me see. John. There you go. There you go.
More vocal on trying just to save families and trying to save lives. You brought it.
Hey, John, what you're going to have to do is cut out your background. You got to cut your sound down to something because it's going to backfeed. You got me? I unmuted you. You can go now.
You're totally free, Brother John. You can flow. You here to rock out, brother. Go ahead and let it flow.
Come on, John. What are you doing? We got 110 people waiting for you to come with them hard questions that you was doing in the chat. What are you doing?
All right, Brother John. It's showtime. Let's go, brother. We in the arena. Got my undivided attention. Let's go.
I mean, listen, one thing about me, I don't think anybody could ever deny that whatever I brought, I brought proof with it. I brought proof with it. You know what I'm saying? So I'm not going to, one thing I'm never going to do is we're going to get into a conversation and we just become talking heads. Well, the prophet said this and the prophet said this. Well, this mean this and this mean that. Like what I gave today is to point you into the direction to let you know that I know, and we can dig deeper and we can show and prove. But other than that, you know, I'm not going to have conversations where we just going back and forth talking. Nah, I'm going to screen share. I'm going to show every piece of shred of evidence possible. So,
and also like every other case that we've shown, Brother Taharka, we're giving them, as far as the people supplying the information, to come to the defense of these people. We're notifying them. Now, obviously, we are more aware of what's going on than they are, clearly, because we're the people who are always bringing these examples. We're giving them the opportunity to go and save this family. They haven't saved any other family that we brought the information to, but we're yet again giving them another chance to do something.
And see, that's what blows me away. Like when these tragedies happen, no representative steps up and say, you know what, we got to get down there and we got to, I mean, even if it's outlandish, I mean, out of 15, 20 years, just one time that you did on Facebook, take a picture with someone that suffered one of these tragedies to show that you out to help the people that you are instructing or people that are using your instructions.
Absolutely. They're circulating your name in these courtrooms. That's correct. That's right.
When you see somebody with your paperwork, then even if they outlandishly, recklessly use it because they got your name on it, you're supposed to go to them and say, listen now, this ain't that. Family, look, I apologize. We had a such and such, but this ain't that. But you don't get nothing over 20 years and not nothing. Man, the members in my temple should have my head if one of them get caught up in something and I'm not right there front line and center. Come on, man. This not right. That's not right.
I think Brother John ready right now, Brother Taharka. Brother John, he ready. He ready.
Come on, John. John, we don't speak sign language. I see John hands and all that. John, what's wrong with you, brother? John, what you got, John? John, better not be hacking my computer. You better hack my computer. I like this computer. It's a good one. This ain't one of them little dollar store Walmart one. It's a good one. It's a real good one. Come on, John, man. I gotta go. I got work tomorrow. I got things to do right here. Anybody else got something they want to add? Anyway, brother Ish, you know we got to come back into the building soon, brother. I'm waiting for you to tap me on the shoulder and give something else to him. I seen people in the chat saying that Morocco is not America, and I know you ready. Anybody want to debate that? I know Ish ain't backing down from nothing. So, hey, what y'all want to do?
Oh yeah, absolutely. I thought we did a very thorough demonstration of Morocco being in America, you know, and as the video is still up, it's got a lot of good views on it, a lot of wealth of information on it, the map supplied, the information supplied. If anybody has a difference about it, simply let it be known, step up, and we can have a nice, a discussion on the topic. I think it'd be very fruitful and very productive.
Well, I'm gonna tell you this before I get up out of here because I can't wait too much more longer. On Thursday, I'm gonna try to have my brother Hopkins Bey in here with a certified Al-Islam dissenting brother. This brother disagree with everything Moors stand for from an Al-Islamic perspective. So we're going to have Brother Hopkins Bey, if he's available on Thursday, to have a nice dialogue. The brother was on the chat when we did the show about Ramadan, and he had a problem with it. He had a problem with it. And so one of the best teachers that I've come across in the Moorish paradigm, no, not Bashir. I wouldn't bring Bashir to with my brother. Bashir is unfortunately Bashir is too ignorant. Bashir like to call names. I just was with it in debate. I was on a panel with a debate on a UK channel last week, and he just got so ignorant because the guy was mopping the floor with him. You know, remind me of how Sharif mopped the floor with Brother Reggie. But he got so ignorant, man. He started calling the guy dumb. And I mean, it's just ignorant stuff, you know, y'all stupid. And I'm like, what? Bring the information. So now I wouldn't even bring Bashir to a brother like Hopkins Bey. And I wanted to before, but nah. And only way I would do it if that brother would give me his word that he act like a civilized Muslim. Because he just jumped straight to the low. I mean, just straight to the low. And I'm like, nah, man, we ain't doing it.
I'm curious about something. Why would they have a problem with the Moorish Science Temple of America or the works of Prophet Noble Drew Ali? Why would anyone who's claiming any form of Islam have a problem with the Moors? When nobody else cared about urban America, Prophet Noble Drew Ali stood up. We're talking about Islam being delivered in Detroit, in Chicago, in New Jersey. When all of these cities, these Arabs didn't give a damn about what we were doing. They didn't give a damn about urban America and the people coming fresh out of slavery. A prophet was sent to us. So if you got a problem with somebody who cares enough and loved us enough to come and teach us Islam in any form, we're going to find out exactly what kind of mission you're on. Because obviously the person who you're following didn't give a damn about what we were doing. We had somebody who loved us and who taught us to clean ourselves up and who taught us to be productive and to be individuals, and the organization is still around over 100 years later. So yeah, I'd love to know who this person is. And I know for a fact that we'll have one of the best representatives in Brother Hopkins Bey.
Indeed. And family, listen, I know a brother said that he would reach out to me and I ignored him, brother. Honestly, brother, I didn't ignore you, brother. Brother, I'm like so busy, brother. I do Moorish World TV. I got a business that I run, a temple, family. I just be so busy, but real soon you'll be able to reach out to Moorish World TV secretary. Yes, real soon we're gonna have a Moorish World TV secretary. Then everybody reach out and they're going to set up everything for us because we're building a legacy here. You know what I mean? Moorish World TV is going. We're gonna move off YouTube and move into the public sector as it relates to once I get this building moving up and running, we are going to be moving towards trying to take it to real broadcast. And when I mean real, we're going to stay on the internet, but we also going to try to get it on a cable network because it is what it is. It's time to turn it up and take it to another level. These same shows can be put on a cable network. And that's what we're going to do. We're going to get on blog. We're going to take it around because there is no other group of people that are bringing the information like an Ishmael Bey. And when I say like the information, I'm talking about from a Moorish perspective because we got much information out there. But from a Moorish perspective, Ishmael Bey, Brother Sharif, Hopkins Bey, and man, I would like to get Grimion L and Way L, Deshaun Way L, our Lord up on here, because them brothers, even though we had disagreements in the past, I can't take nothing from them. Them brothers had good information and they have good information, and I can tell you this, Brother Way L, I rank them of my top 10 researchers. Now, I don't always, Denimel, absolutely. I better not forget Denimel. I better not forget my brother Denimel. Yes. If I forget y'all, don't forgive me. Tunica L. I could go on and on and on. Haru Renisi L. I could go on and on. If I forget you, forgive me. But I'm just saying we have a bunch of brothers with information that the world need to hear. Every week, Renisi L, Haru Renisi L, Temple number 19 in Atlanta, he drop a book on you. Now I'm just saying, don't give me Grand Sheik. He drop a book on you. That's right. I would love to see brothers like I see in the chat, Grand Sheik Hogan Bay. Man, we need to really, Nagas, I need you to email me, brother. We need to talk, man. We got some business to take care of, man. TaHawkabay@yahoo.com. Brother, hit me. I lost your number, brother. We got some business to take care of. Come on, brother. Trying to get your business up in the Moorish village. Yeah, hey, Hakeem Bey, Renisi L drop a book every week. He gonna flood the market. I gotta make me a book. I ain't going with this. That's right. That's right. Casper Devon Bay, brother. Email me, man. Let's get some of these shows. Let's get some people on here and teach the people. But it just got to be comprehensive information that people can comprehend. But with that, in closing, Ish, you got anything you want to say in closing? I'm getting up out of here. It's almost 11 o'clock. I appreciate y'all. Thank y'all for sticking around. Please go back and review, research, dig deep. If you want to challenge me on the information as your brother, as your friend, come on. But don't challenge me as a gangster and as a weirdo, because I ain't going for that. I ain't talking to it. I ain't talking to cussing me out. I ain't talking to the agent stuff. I ain't talking to it. Just bring some information. We can go. That could be Cujo. That could be Mario. That could be anybody you want. We could bring a moderator here of your choice. Bring anybody you want. Just tell me the topic and we can get busy. It is what it is. But
brother Ish has been on a tear over the last week and it hasn't stopped yet. Apparently, some people are under the misconception that you cannot be African and indigenous. So the information is being, I'll probably be in a forum near you. All of the forums that are supposed to be so taboo, I've been locking them down and smashing them around. So again, the challenge has been put out and the challenge is still out to let's get it on. Let's get it into the arena. Those who say that you cannot be both African and indigenous and come with your false information so it can get smashed up. So that's what we've been dealing with right now. We're trying to dispel a lot of the myths. That's really what we do. And that's what you have created with your forum also, is to dispel a lot of the myths. So we're addressing the information head on. We smashing out these lies head on, and we're going to continue to do that. I want to thank you, Brother Taka, for inviting us and just for creating the forum. And I think that the chat room was very, very productive. If Brother John would like to say anything, he still has the opportunity to do so. He said that he's still muted, but he's actually still, there's nothing muting him at all. So if Brother John would like to share his information, I'll give the floor. Thank you again, Brother Tark.
Yeah, he's definitely not muted. There's no mute button on this thing. Definitely no mute button on this thing. Matter of fact, I can show.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, brother.
Okay, there we go. Maybe my okay. But I was gonna say with the paperwork, how you showed the paperwork.
Right.
Most of the time, the paperwork that do work, you don't get to see because those cases are thrown out.
Right.
But the ones that you do see, of course, wouldn't your enemy want you to view it as, okay, you can't challenge us in our own venue?
Hold up. Let's deal with what you first said. You said the paperwork that you don't see.
Right.
Why don't you see it?
Because the cases are dismissed. They're thrown out. They don't want that. They don't want to have no loss on their face. I know a brother right now that I dealt with.
Do you mean thrown a win or thrown out? What do you mean?
No, the case is thrown out. They're not going to let you in. It's a commercial court. It's about commercial activity.
Okay, so since you said that, wouldn't that be foolish at the highest height? If you already know that, wouldn't you try another venue to try to resolve situations and issues?
Exactly. You resolve it behind the curtains. You don't try to resolve it in front of the curtains, or else then people like you get the information to expose that it don't work. It's that simple.
But the thing is that I'm not exposing that it don't work. I'm actually exposing that it's reckless and it's not a part of the Moorish Science Temple of America resolution for our people.
But that should be, because that's the only process that's going to work in court.
No. That is not the Moorish. You understand? This whole presentation was to show what the Moorish Science Temple of America stand on and what's being taught by Taj or what's being taught by adverse groups. We don't teach that. The Prophet never taught that. That is separate. Has nothing to do with Moorish Science Temple of America or the Moorish Science Temple or what Prophet taught. Do you understand what I'm saying by that?
I understand that part, but my thing is, how is that going to remedy the people?
Well, how what's going to remedy the people? The Moorish Science Temple of America?
How what you're saying right now, what's being taught, is going to remedy the people if this is what the people are running into on a regular basis. So you're saying everybody should just get down and lay down with the MSTA, or else you just have to by yourself.
Oh no.
Mr. Moore, you're not a Moorish American.
No, what I'm about to share with you is something very simple and basic. When the Prophet Noble Drew Ali was in the flesh, right?
Right.
One thing that the Prophet Noble Drew Ali did was organize people for a better good.
Right.
You follow me? And within that organizing of the people, maybe you're not aware of this, but within that organizing of the people, he put people in political positions. So when people was in any type of a jam, if you will, they face their own people. So during the time of the Prophet Noble Drew Ali, he put, and I'm gonna keep saying it, he put a judge in office,
right,
Judge Blackwell,
right,
with 5,000 votes. So if we can get 5,000 people to move in one direction in a city, we don't have to ask for a delegation of authority. We put our own people in office.
Right.
If we can get some unity, right? Prophet Noble Drew Ali put Councilman Lewis B. Anderson in the councilman seat. So here we go. We got a judge. We got one who controlled the money at the city council level. And then he put another one at the city council level. And then he put Oscar DePriest with 5,000 votes into Congress. So if we did that in every city, if we join functional Moorish Science Temple of America that understand how the Prophet did that, and we move like that, we will be on top overnight.
Exactly. I mean, because do you see any Amish people going to jail?
There we go, brother. You are.
Do you see that?
No.
Just be honest. Even the ones that live in the community or outside the community, they get in any trouble. Who comes to their rescue? The Amish community.
That is why I said earlier about being.
They don't have no judges or politicians in place.
This is why I said about being a Moorish American. You Moorish American, you must be connected to the body politic so you can move as a body politic. You can't say I'm a Moorish American, but you moving for Dolo. Nationality don't work like that. So when a person follow that paperwork and they get it offline from whatever, that is not a Moorish American, because a Moorish American is a nationality and the root word is nation, and the nation must be organized. And the organizing of the nation starts with the organization.
Is that's what the Prophet said recognized by the UN?
The organization, no, it's not recognized by the UN as of yet.
Washington.
let me finish. The Organization of the Moorish Science Temple of America is not recognized by the UN as of yet as a solid nation or a separate nation, because we are part and parcel of this nation. That's just what it is. But listen to this. Listen to this. The Jewish people that I mentioned tonight, at one point, they wasn't even recognized. But guess what? Their unity from, like I said, Moors and Jews, they rallied around the Israeli thought and the Israeli nation and the Israeli nationalistic principle. And so that's what the Moorish Science Temple of America is about. It's about rallying around the Moorish American principle and become nationalistic and move as a body.
Are there any Jews in prison?
Oh, it's a few, but not practicing that we know. I ain't never seen many.
That's my point.
No, there's guidelines and boundaries of being Jewish. The guidelines and boundaries are being guided by the Torah. So if you're functioning as a lone wolf and you're doing things outside the fabric of what a Moorish American is supposed to do, then you cannot then come back into the fold and expect for the Moorish Americans to come and protect you. If you're living by the guidelines as a Moorish American, then your children should not be being put in jeopardy, particularly if you're a male. A lot of these males are getting their females into this doctrine, and then the females are supposed to be the last guardianship of the children. So the women and the children, it's the women being killed, and it's the children being taken by authority because the men are weak and dragging their women into this mess.
Yes.
And let me add this, brother. You know, unfortunately, brother, and I gotta sympathize with the situation. Unfortunately, we have 20, 30 years of evidence that many Moorish Americans within the temple are not moving on what I'm talking about here.
I understand, bro.
Yeah, 20 and 30 years. But that doesn't mean that that's not the goal of the Moorish Science Temple of America.
The goal.
And so it's going to take those progressive brothers, Curry Lindale, brother Tyrone Bey, Kenyu Bey, and all the Reniciels to all say, you know, with my group, I'm going to move on the plan of the ages. You know, we don't have to be all like people say, Moors, what about the grand bodies? What about the grand bodies? I say, don't worry about that. We are tribal people. We always been a tribal people, and we may never come together on complete terms.
That's unfortunate.
But if all of us, no, it's not unfortunate. The Prophet Noble Drew Ali teaches us that he said, we should foster the principles of the Holy Quran of Mecca. Well, one of the principles in the Holy Quran of Mecca, it teaches that we was created in pairs, and from pairs we was moved towards tribes, to pairs to tribes, so we may know one another. And so this is a divine calling, that these tribes that we find ourselves in is not to separate us, but to know one another and to understand one another so we can move in one vibration. We're not going to agree on everything. We're individuals. Right. But one thing we got to agree on is that we got this foot on our neck and we should be fighting towards a goal. You know what I'm saying? And one of the goals of the Moorish Science Temple of America is complete nationhood. And if we don't become a part and parcel of this nation and then metamorphose into separate, then it's not going to work. We got to go step by step. We can't jump all the way to step 5 if we ain't start on step 1.
Well, I'm going to tell you, the problem I run into a lot, because I actually have my boots on the ground. I have my boots on the ground. I help people in my community. That's all I do.
Ain't no grand sheiks working together.
That's all I do.
I've been in Moorish Science Temple of America.
The problem,
I got to check my brother. He said all these grand sheiks are and have been working together. Brother, they haven't been working together because we ain't got nowhere. We don't see no results. We got a few grand sheiks. Let's stop trying to clean up this dirty mess. We got a few grand sheiks that are friends. I'm one of them. I'm friends with everybody. But for the most part, we ain't moving an inch. And until we face the fire and we look into the mirror and say, you know what? We haven't been working together. We haven't been trying to move on the plan of the ages. But you know what? I'm going to move on it, and I'm going to be friends regardless. You know what I mean?
Everybody trying to be the biggest grand sheik possible, but it's about the people, man. Like, my babies are suffering. I see my community, people in my community suffering. My wife, she is from Baltimore. It's in Annapolis area, PG County, all of that. They coming down here for a graduation. But the thing is when I talk to the people about the Moors and the Moorish Science Temple of America, it's always the same thing. Oh, it's that religion stuff. It's that religion stuff. That's why I put the questions into the chat, so that people can come to and look at it afterwards and see what was being said and how the question was being answered. But the thing is, are we moving as a unit? That's the thing. I can show them the Amish people moving as a unit. We got Amish people in our town. They move.
Guess what,
people in our town. They move.
Even when you speak about the Amish people, right? You know, they got Amish from Pennsylvania all the way up to Portland, Oregon. You see what I'm saying?
Right.
So they broken down in different tribes and communities too.
Exactly.
But they don't clash like we clash.
That's the point I'm making.
I don't have no problem with any other.
They try to come together to defeat their enemy, and they can argue amongst themselves at home.
That's right.
We want to argue in the public.
And so let me say, I'm not grand body banging. I'm just saying that to each his own, you know, to your way be yours, to mine be mine.
Right.
But whoever is moving on the Prophets program, if we reading the same book, we should be moving in the same way, but we ain't got to be moving under the same roof.
Right. I understand that. I mean, because even in the church.
I apologize, Hakeem Bey, Raphael. I love you, brother. I got work done.
I love that brother too. He would beat me over my head too in the chat. But the same way with the church. You can have a church full of 100 members, and the people sitting right beside each other don't even have the same thought process about what's going on with the preacher. You see what I'm saying?
Exactly.
But you still move as a church. You can't talk about their church. You can't move on their church.
Let me tell you this. When I see a Moorish American that says he's a member of the Moorish Science Temple of America, I don't care what body you from. I don't care what Supreme Grand Sheik, what Grand Sheik you under. I know that we at least is on the starting path of going somewhere.
Well, let me say I'm under Cujo.
But Cujo,
either way, that's just what resonates with me. That's just what resonates with me. Everybody got our work to do.
But listen, brother, one thing you got to understand, Cujo is a dedicated, I don't believe he's an agent. I don't believe any of that. I disagree with him. I think his character is horrible. You know what I mean? Like he needs to clean his filthy mouth up, because the Prophet Ali said we should not use any, and I'm going to paraphrase it. He said we shouldn't use any,
I understand.
I forget the words, in the mildest form. He said the mildest form. You know what I'm saying? He said we should not use any bad words. I can't think of the word he used, but in the mildest form.
Exactly. I got you.
Cujo go over the top. He go over the top.
But it reaches a point. It reaches a point. Those points, they reach me.
But it reaches a point that when you study the Prophet, my fault, Salvi, man. He said use profanity in the mildest form. But it reaches a point that when you really study this work, it teaches you self-discipline. It teaches you self-control. Like when I look like I'm all worked up, I really don't be worked up. I'm just an excited, passionate guy. You know what I'm saying? But it teaches you self-control, it teaches you discipline, and it teaches you how to navigate through issues in order to get through to people. Because ultimately our job is to create the condition where people can save themselves. You know what I'm saying? And if you can create the condition where people can save themselves, you know what I'm saying? Then you're doing your job. But when you use the vernacular that is going to attract a certain type of constituent, then guess what? We're defeating the purpose. Because the Prophet said we need people of good sound mind. And if cursing attract people to you, that's not good sound mind people. That's just what I'm saying. You may get the message across, but that's just not sound mind. You know, you won't, if you can't teach it to your child.
You live in Baltimore.
Huh?
You live in Baltimore. You live in Baltimore, so
I love people.
A lot of people in Baltimore don't have that good sound mind that you're talking about. If you try to come to the righteous,
leave my people alone.
They're not trying to hear you.
You leave them alone.
Oh, trust me, I come up there and I talk too. The last time I was up there, I was trying to get to you, but my wife, she had other agenda, so we had to get back down to North Carolina quick.
And brother, I'm very easy to find. I mean, if you find any more, I mean, or I mean, if you know somebody that's in the know of consciousness, all you got to do is ask them about me. Somebody got my number. It is what it is. It is what it is. But I got to get up out of here, family. Hey,